And you fly in the south of black. Charges on the people. To get your information. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. I'm gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia. All right, guys. We're not going to take much time today. So, good evening and a pleasant welcome. Coming up next is the nation's premier platform. That's Spoon Talk. My name is James Samuel Goode Flumbo, and later on, by God's willing, Diamond Slanger will be joining us from studio there in Morovia. But currently, they are faced with a technical problem. When that is resolved, then he will come on. But let me travel to the US and bring the doctor on. Good evening, doctor.
James, hello. How are you doing?
Well, I'm okay. Everything is good. What
That's
about
good.
you? And first, let me say congratulations to you. I saw your post.
Thank you. It was
Yeah.
quite a surprise. I'm so excited about that.
Okay.
To be selected to carry. It's a kind of statue that if you go to graduation, you see faculty members carrying it, but it's something that's been in university for a long time. And you get selected based on your commitment to scholarly work, service, and to, networking with faculty members. So it was really a surprise for me last night. I'm honored to do it. It's just that I can't do it for my country. I'm doing it in another land.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You did well, and at least you represented the women of Liberia.
Yeah, Liberians as a whole. Yes, I represent.
Yeah, women be
Yes. Yeah, I represent women and I represent Liberia. Good to see y'all having fun yesterday. I was watching the show partially. So you feel get a people in hot time yesterday, huh? Y'all having fun yesterday talking.
we have fun though. To the extent Gray was eating
Uh-huh.
almost like 3 minutes for the show to end. Gray came running. When we
That's
asked him, he said, people come in, they said, Falcon did it with ANC. He had to come on. And they drove Minister Falcon out of the show last night.
yeah, I would say that would help before my count this shit.
They drove him. Leo won shopping out of the show last night.
I was dying laughing. I said, when I'm on the show, they can have this much fun. Oh. Everybody can have this much fun. So yeah,
You know,
enjoy.
you're too diplomatic.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. When you just looking at our CEO, right? Our CEO in Liberia, right? When she's around, everybody will be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But when she's not there, if like everybody, even the former CEO when he's there, everybody will be like running here and there. We be too diplomatic, so
I
we
saw
have
it.
to
I
regain your space.
but I appreciate the respect, the courtesy that you guys have for me. So but it was, I was laughing in the chat. So look at it, they just talking over each other. Everybody acting, about y'all gonna say order on the show.
It came a time where avant Tupe and Fagon had to go head to head. You were blasting Baka. No, you were blasting Baka. You were blasting Baka. I'm like, if our data was here, that she'll be like, your winner.
Yeah, order on the
Your winner.
That is so true. That is so true. I was watching and people started texting me, Dr. Richardson, where are you? When he ordered on the show, I said, boy, yeah, I'm not there on Wednesday. I want to get to it. He texted me, said, Dr. Richardson, please tell the person to be quiet. I said, but when I'm not on the show, you don't know that. So anyway, it's good. It's good. I see Salimati in the background.
Yeah. I thought she said she coming Tuesday. I was surprised to see her.
No,
I
we
was
love
not you did the party team, then make it she come here.
everybody was kind of say yesterday and breaking.
Yeah, because I saw something in the chat which she said how the went for funeral. She will go back home. Tuesday she will
Mhm.
come on the show, but no, she coming back.
Yeah, well, she just said she can come on
Let
today.
me let me bro.
Sorry about it's good to have you, man. We miss you.
Oh
uh,
God. Who did I meet on air? Okay.
no, I read something
Mm,
and I
yeah,
guess it's not
yeah.
something to read.
It's good to be back. No,
Yeah.
I said I will hop on today. Uh
Welcome.
I can't come on tomorrow, so
It's,
tomorrow Monday, so I'll be on Tuesday. But
yeah,
I miss you guys.
I know, we stand with you. I know you're going through a lot. We're in sympathy with you losing your family member. So that's why we haven't seen you. So we understand. But it's good to have you. I like the hair.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
She's like, oh, thank you.
No, thank you so much.
The minister will be confused to now on the show.
Okay, you let all kind of call you today.
The minister will be confused on the show.
You let all kind of talk.
You're into the gossip, right?
Yeah, he let all kind of talk.
But he's not here now.
Who to know?
Oh,
It's not coming on tonight. We are waiting our other panelists to come on. We want to welcome all of you to
yeah.
Spoon Talk, the show that you really enjoy and appreciate. And we appreciate you too. We're going to be discussing various issues that are very, very important to Liberia. We come here every day. We, trust us. All of us worked during the day and then we just dropped everything to make it here by 4 o'clock
Yeah.
so that we can bring you information to increase your knowledge and help you be more informed about issues trending in our country. October 10th is a big day in our country. It is the moment where we're going to have to decide whether we like what we see in the country right now to continue whatever we like, or to look for change, a path to change. One thing I know that sometimes change doesn't always come when we want it. It's a process. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm under no illusion that after October 10, Liberia will become New York City or Miami. I'm under no illusion that that will happen. It's going to take time. It took us time to get where we are, but it requires some kind of vision and some kind of plan. So I want to welcome all of you to Spoon Talk. Welcome the commentators. Please do that. Comment as you please. Our panelists will be joining us. And I'm going to go over to, hold on, I'm just getting interrupted by some email coming in. Sorry. So I'm going to go over to just Salamatu to just welcome you a little bit. And then we're going to go to Good Day to tell us some trending news in the country if he has any. And of course, then we're going to personally welcome you, call your name, which we enjoy doing, to the show as our panelists are rolling in. Salamatu, it's good to see you. Want to speak to your Liberian people?
Yeah, just hello to everybody. Really did miss being on the show. It's just been a hectic week last week, running into this week. But we have our faith is strong in God, and there's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
So my cousins, my auntie who lost their mother, she was 104 years old, and
Wow.
very, very strong,
Wow.
very strong. So I say again, no matter the family, it was nice seeing everybody for the family, but I did miss you guys. And there were a couple of people who came up to me and told me, because the funeral and wake was held in North Carolina and then South Carolina. So we went
Mhm.
from Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and everywhere I went, people, oh, you on Spoon, eh? Yeah. So people are watching the show, but of course, even the ones with very strong opinions, they're
Mhm.
watching the show, which is a good thing, because it
Absolutely.
shows that you have a platform with people of different views. We don't always agree, and I got a lot of compliments, saying that they like the way the show is going, the fact that we limiting the amount of people who can just be coming calling a cousin. They like how we're dealing with it, and just good encouragement. So to all the viewers who watch, thank you for the people who agree with what we're saying. Thank you to the people who don't agree. We're learning from you as well. So, keep your comments coming. Just keep it clean. Stick to the issues. It's okay for us to disagree. But, yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and so honestly, I truly miss you as the other female on the show because
Did they get
even
you hot time? You got to watch. Did
yeah,
anybody get you hot time?
and to get their tried, but I get my
Yes.
way of dealing with them. But the thing about it is like I just feel like we don't always agree, and we shouldn't, even though we're women. But I feel like there's a sense when you hear, I feel more secure. I don't know why, compared to when I'm in the middle of these guys. It's just maybe that female factor or that
I
woman
feel the
factor.
same way. I feel the same
Yeah.
way.
So,
That's why we always tell people, if you're the only woman in the room, you shouldn't have this sense of, oh, I want to be the only woman in the room. You should
no,
be trying to make a way where you're inviting some of your other sisters in there. So I,
absolutely.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Absolutely. And I think again, like in any with all group therapy, that's it. This is a group. The dynamics is really important. Again, always looking. There's a balance. There's a play. There's a dance that happens, and so I think that balance and that dance is okay right now on the show, and it's okay for it not to always be in rhythm to get other things sometimes. So yes, I felt your absence when you were not here. So don't leave me for too long the next time,
No,
okay?
no, no, no. I won't. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So, James, we're going to circle back to you. Are there any trending? I know we have the uh, a speaker from the chairman of the party, either the secretary, right? The secretary, I believe, from Unity Party is going to be here with us today. He's going to be speaking about issues relating to the Unity Party for a couple of minutes, maybe about 20, 30 minutes. Maybe if we hope to keep him on um, more than that. So we're going to have him come in. He's going to speak, and then we're going to ask him questions, and then we're going to talk about some important other issues that are trending in the country right now. So, James, good day. You want to just tell us? And I see Diamond is also in the back. Diamond,
Yeah, Damo will come in
to
to
tell us.
to fill us in from
Diamond,
Liberia.
I get a lot of compliments. People like the way that you announce the news. I don't know what is it about your presentation, but a lot of people enjoy it. I'm thankful for that. So, and actually also tell you, are you listening? Can you hear me, Diamond? I don't think you can hear me. I should also tell you, Diamond. So Diamond, he kind of divides the news into two pieces. He tells us soft
Damo,
news, hard news. I like that. So
Damo,
when
are
I'm
you there? I think the internet giving you here.
so when I'm reading the news from
James,
Liberia now,
I can
it's
hear
soft
you, but we're
and hard
still
news.
sorting out the internet connectivity.
Yeah, but
So, folks, we apologize.
you now moving now. Okay, all right,
Yes, sir. So
Yes.
all
here I
right.
am.
Go ahead.
We're
You
still
you
trying to
moving
sort
now?
out the
Listen.
internet connectivity from this end.
Can you hear me, Diamond? We
Yeah,
can hear you. Are you good? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing
you
you,
get-
Dr. Richardson, not clearly though, because we have,
Not
the
clearly.
glitches and stuff. The internet
Okay.
here is kind of not so strong. The connection is not strong. We're trying our best to get us a stable internet connectivity. Yeah.
Okay. All right, but it's good to have you here today. Oops, we just lost Diamond. But good day.
yeah, he said it working on that.
To not waste too much time, can you just give us some issues that are happening in the country as far as you know it? Things that you got caught up with today. And once Diamond come in, we'll just improvise and bring him back in.
Yeah, today I saw a press release from the Ministry of Justice, specifically talking about this. I'm coming. All right, you good, huh? The,
Let's give it a try. We'll keep trying, Jim.
all right, then
Once
you
the
go ahead.
connection is stable,
We are hearing you very
yeah,
nicely
keep
over
trying.
here, loud and clear.
Yeah, you go ahead. I don't know you connected to. Okay, it's okay now. Uno one remain. All right, go ahead.
Diamond, can you speak to us about
James, are you
trending?
talking to me?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we're talking to you about update
Yeah,
from
what was it you
Liberia.
said?
Update from Liberia.
Okay, so we already into the time, so I will just give you a few updates quickly. Um, Today in West Point, the standard bearer of the CPP, Mr. Cummins, you know, put a needle to some extent in whatever balloon that was inflated, talking about a Boyka Cummins ticket. Today, Mr. Cummins again reiterated that he's not going to run as VP or go as a running mate to anybody, and that the anybody as well includes JNB. So whether or not if there was any kind of hope, being built up, any kind of anxiety towards a Waka Cummins ticket, he has said he's not going to go as running mate to anybody, including you can put Mr. Boyka in that anybody category if you want to. But Mr. Cummins again has reiterated his stance of running as the standard bearer of any party of the CPP and any other party that will join forces with them. So there you have it for hopes of a Cummins Boyka ticket or a Boyka Cummins ticket as well. Whether or not we'll see last minute changes, that is yet to be seen. So also, would love to say I'm really, really happy today when I saw the picture of Ralph and his attorney. I followed his mother's appearance on the CBS mornings, when she even stated that he had a phone call from President Biden. That was a good one. I was so happy today to see the picture of he and his lawyer, out there posing. That's good to know that he's recovered or he's recovering at a very fast pace. It's also a good news that the alleged perpetrator, has been charged as well. So it was West Point. It was point 4. Let me get that right. Where Mr. Cummins made the statement, it was point 4. All right. So President Weah has granted Muslims a holiday on tomorrow to go and climax their Ramadan fast. The fast month. He has also given 75 cows to the Muslim community here in Liberia. But anytime we're around this time of the year, we hear calls again, louder calls for the legislation of Islamic holidays in the country. So though President Weah has said Muslims can be given a day off tomorrow, and the Ministry of Education as well said that Muslim students should be granted a day off tomorrow, there are still calls or louder calls during this time of the year that there should be the legislation of Muslim holidays in Liberia, as it is seen in Ghana, Nigeria, and to name a few African countries as well. So we wish our brothers a successful climax to the Ramadan. I saw the news that the crescent has been spotted in Saudi Arabia. So tomorrow comes the end of the fast month. We love to say may Allah grant them all of their prayers as well. The president called on them to pray for a successful election on October 10th. All right, so Dr. Richardson, there are so many things, but you have to carry on with the show. I came on late, so I can give you all of the news that I have to give you as well. So I'll pause with that.
Simon, thank you so much for your hard work and for your presentation. We want to welcome Minister Fagon to the show. People are already talking, Mr. Fagon, that you're in a good mood, good spirit today because Sadematu is here. You can confirm that. You can confirm or deny that. So I'm not going to get involved in that right now. Anyway, we're going to circle back to Good Day. Good Day. Did you want to add anything to Diamond? I'm just reading the comments, and that's what I was reading.
Yeah. Today we saw a press release from the Ministry of Justice talking about the killing, the alleged murder of the former chief justice of Liberia, daughter, saying that there are many fake news out there. People saying the ministry is hiding something or protecting someone within a case, but the central idea of their press release today was this: that they have not received any written report from the police. Imagine, since that time, the ministry said they are yet to get the investigative report from the Liberian National Police, and according to their press release, they can only act upon an investigative findings from the Liberian National Police. And if that is brought to them, and then they will go ahead and press charges, and they are not also in charge to do criminal investigation, they will then go to the right place or places where these investigations will go on. So the minister said in that press release that since we've been hearing about the death of that little girl, they are yet to get a line, just a sentence regarding the investigation that the police carry on. They said they have never gotten anything from the police. So that is why they have not pressed charges here or to come out and say this person is a person of interest or the state is doing this, the state is doing that. So I saw that was that, wow, are you telling me the police more than 2 months, they have never even sent a sentence to the Ministry of Justice to say on this day it was April 6th, just like that. They have not done it yet. So the ministry said people saying they are not working, they will only work if they get fundings from the police because they are the first point of contact in this case. The minister cannot just jump the gun and start to accuse people. He will only act on what will come from the Liberian National Police. And today in Lofa County, the CDC dedicated what they term as the quote-unquote biggest achievement in the home of the former vice president. That is the town hall. The town hall in Foya was dedicated today by them. But I spoke with somebody who went with them, a permanent member of the CDC who went with them, also told me, James, what we've been hearing in Monrovia, that Thomas Fala is in charge of Lofa County or Foya is different. And he made me to know that the development in Foya specifically is only on the main, that is the broad street for them, leading to where they have the town hall. They have the solar light there, and the side of the former vice president, they did not carry some there. The people on the side, they're not supposed to benefit. The side, what's his name? The former defense minister, Brandon Samuka, they did not also carry some to his end. So it's like they divided Foya into 3 sections. Only a very minute portion of Foya has that. And I was like, this guy is with the CDC and he's calling me from the ground, telling me what's happening in Lofa County. And he said all of the development that Thomas Fala carry on in Foya, they are on his property, not on government property. Instead, his personal properties were developed, and then the CDC is going around. And he confessed. He said, I'm sorry, but we have no hope in Lofa County. I said, my man, be careful. Maybe somebody behind you there will recall you. Forget about that thing when you get to Monrovia, you're in your room, you call me with lecture. And he said, my man, my heart is beating. I just have to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, James. Good day for your information. I just have an announcement to make. On Monday, we are going to have Madela Cooper here discussing national issues. So she'll be our guest on the show on Monday. As you saw lately, Madela partnered up with Yumbly. And so I think, James, you got those pictures to show us. So she'll be here. Honorable Falcon, why are you shaking your head like that? You want Madela to come?
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, you gotta wear.
The third time, I've been missing Salimatu for a long time.
I miss you too, yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart. The third time you bring her on the show is the time you seek to bring another woman on the show so I can be distracted. But Salimatu, I want to assure you it will not work. My focus will be on you.
That train that you can talk to want to distract you small so you can take a train opposite direction. That was what about to hear for.
Now all I wonder, even if that tree will crash, the head go crash because the people are bombing right now. In fact, I can confirm to you they added 4 more cows.
Hey,
to the other cow, and the Kidman people they brought 2. That's 6.
Hey.
Mapolo people said next week.
What other woman can I bring on this show? So come and tell her on Monday. Let me find one other like bro woman to come because I gotta distract this one.
Look at the other one. They want that Cheche police.
You give me the news.
And
news. You will come.
I forget about something. Unity Party, I'm told they had a very successful meeting in Bombay County.
Yeah, be careful how you talk. Yeah.
And coming up next week, we may likely get to know who
I mean, that's your business.
Now
Not
your
your business.
business.
That's
Ah,
what people
oh,
show,
that's
man.
Now your
That's the
business.
people on the show. That is my business. You talking? No, man. No, that is business.
I
That
had
is
on the man
business.
was coming to come tell me I took some of the
Yeah.
picture with where people, the picture came back, I lost.
The man go take picture where people can
Why
see
you
him in
put
the
that picture
picture.
up?
He refused to put it up.
James, people have picture. I saw him. I said, James.
But wait,
How can you be standing with
what
where
the
people?
issue?
No, but that's your business to get UP announcement. That you UP man.
You UP man huh?
That you UP man to get UP announcement. Go get CDC announcements. Someone follow that win low far. Go announce it.
But he said he's shocked. I told a boy for the cat.
Yeah, man. I mean, that Muslim breaking that thing. Don't let people start calling you Kafrio.
But
Don't
anyway,
do that. America said that they can't get UP. They got a lot of men wearing pink jacket because you're not yet. It must work coming on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for
the
coming.
thing getting serious now.
Yeah, you muted.
Oh, watch you. I was just waiting for the
The
record.
America said I ain't say you wearing pink jacket because it must work coming on. I mean, let me tell you something, right? Fagon, I have for only 5 minutes.
But when
Yo, uno
when you
family
welcome
get it.
welcome Salibatu.
I want to ask Salamatu, where have you been? Now, who play music
I'm
again?
in the background.
Okay.
Salamatu, where have you been?
No, I had a death in the family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know that you be Revo.
How am I supposed to look? No, we
You
actually
should be in black, you should be crying, you should be mourning.
a long time.
I see why Fagon were on the plane traveling.
That's
Some
why you see
Fagon-
on the show, yeah, the count.
I see why Fagon on the
You see how far go looking? He just looking.
I see why Fagon on the plane traveling. Fagon. So that's the Jim, pull it up.
Jim, beat this.
Wait, Jim, hold on 1 minute. But where is James? Where is James? Fagon, we're not hearing you. Where is James?
Thank God he muted.
Picture.
No, let us show James going to join the photo up. Show your
James,
picture.
can you play again? Can you play one more time?
They put go to the-
But James, you left.
The men so dark.
James, I try my best, James. Please don't make me shame.
But wait,
I
number
try
one,
my
Black
very
you
best,
have
my man. Please,
you have to sit
James,
back.
James, can you add a shaker, Sheriff? Can you change your color small? I try
No,
my best,
oh,
my man.
so that it's like a cherry one.
I'm a man. I see you get myself. But James, though, thank you very much. We heard that Emma Sway is in the building. They're trying to connect him to come on. He's in the building with this wonderful announcement coming up. The Secretary General of Unity Party is in the building. Well, I am shocked. Let me bring in our dear brother Leo Napodu, the only man I can make Fagon run away. He did yesterday. We saw it. Leo came out with his question. Fagon, you ran. Don't do this. You ran from
You
Leo.
can't come and say that you finish eating your potato.
Pardon?
The show ancestor that you carry it to 7 o'clock, you carry it to 7:50. I hungry, you can't be doing funny.
No. Actually, Salamatu.
Men wearing the same jacket.
Yeah, what's going on? One pink, one blue.
You're ready for Unity Party.
We're
now.
ready for Unity Party. Yes, ready.
Salamatu.
Yeah.
Fagon ran away yesterday. He ran away yesterday. It was very clear.
Why did he run away?
Leo Jem Fagon.
Oh.
Yeah. Leo Jem Fagon. Fagon ran away.
No, man.
You had Leo, then Al Hassan Kim, and E. Remy Gray. Then you have Asa Vatuba. It was
The man
done.
left on the show. He ran away. We don't
was
want to be
done.
looking for the man.
Fagon come and say, you know what Fagon said? Fagon come and say, oh man, I'm here for that BS. I said, Fagon, what? You serious? You said, oh man, let me put out the show. I said, Fagon.
Oh, I need to go watch it.
In fact, I guess
Salamatu, we miss you.
a surprise today.
I
But
miss you guys, man.
Yeah, we miss you, Salamatu. We
Yes.
thought you thought you were Jesus Christ's mother, and you know you decided to leave too. Many are called, few are choosing. Many went to find out few return, but we hope and we have. Fuck, what you can say? Jesus Christ. That guy, what you say? Jesus Christ is a carpenter's son, right?
But you dispute that. Who was Joseph?
He was a carpenter. You're right. Jesus
So who
Christ
is
is a
Jesus
carpenter's son.
Christ?
And that's why we are here today. I get only a few minutes to be here.
Okay.
We just want to usher in Emma Stewart. That's what Richardson. Emma Stewart from Unity Party. He will be on the show. He's our guest for a few minutes. He want to make certain announcement. Then he going to leave. So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, in Radio Land on Fabric FM, Fabric TV, Super FM, Super TV, Spoon FM, Spoon TV. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and every other social outlets. You can find Spoon and all the other radio stations. Want to say, please, it's a big announcement coming from Unity Party. Their Secretary General, Emma Stewart, is getting ready to come on the show just for about 15-20 minutes. He's going to take one question each. This is very big for Liberians. We want to say to every one of you, wherever you are, adjust your radio, tune in right now, share it. Emma Stewart is coming on. There was a meeting here today, and very productive meeting. I will leave the rest for Fagon and the team. They're going to explain. They're going to talk to you guys. But what's your take, though? Let's do a quick round table. That's the reason I'm here. Okay? Just what's your take? Let's just understand it real quick. Dr. Richardson, 1 minute before we give you a show back. Be your panelist right now before I leave. Emma Stewart is coming. Today is Thursday, the 20th of April. Why do you think he's coming? We've been hearing rumors about VP. We've been hearing the meeting in Bombing County. A lot of activities is happening. JMB is so jammed. He must make an announcement. Folks are gathering. What's your take? This announcement, this big thing, what's happening?
So I don't know why he's coming, and this is the reason why he will be here to tell us his announcement. But I suspect that it has to do with selecting a vice president, and I hope that he will be able to share with us exactly what went into selecting the a vice president. So that I'm looking forward to hearing more from him about this whole process.
I understand you from CPP. We have Salamati Liberty Party.
I'm an independent.
Al Hussein. I don't know where he coming from. He's from Senegal People Party. Leo is pure independent, as we can see. But Salamatu, Amos is coming on a Friday evening. Unity Party have galvanized. They're coming with something. It's strange. We didn't know he was coming on today, but they reached out to the station. It must have to come on. It's important. What's your take about his appearance on Spoon tonight?
No. I mean, it's just interesting to hear what he has to say. Personally, I don't think he's about to announce any VP. I just hope whatever the anticipation is, you're getting us all excited. It's news worth waiting for. But I'm just sitting back waiting to hear what he has to say. At this point, I think most people just want to know who the VP, that's what everybody's looking for. So we'll see.
Leo, you're muted, sir.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So, I mean, glad to be having Emma Stewart on. Always having someone official from the Unity Party is great. We've heard from a lot of surrogates hinting and putting gossips out there. So it'll be great to have someone official. I really hope he can tell us something about this VP question that's been hanging over JMB's head, because we need to start vetting them proper. We'll not make the election lazy. So I'm really looking forward to having Emma Stewart here. I really hope he does not come and leave us in more suspense than he met us. That's my only prayer for him, because that will not go too well for the old man, for Unity Party, if you appear on a major media institution and then give us more questions than answers after you actually leave. So I'm excited for him to be coming. I'm really hoping that he can give us some actual facts to go on, so that we're not running on the gossips and stuff being dropped all around the place, so that we can hear from the official source, so that we can be debating and talking about the right content, the right information. And then we can start to know some of the people who are gossiping around, just talking tabata because they can talk.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Al Hussein. Serious, on the very serious note, on the Thursday evening, we are relaxing after work. Here comes Emma Stewart, Secretary General of UP, walking to the compound of Spoon with a very big announcement that we don't know. Talk to us, Hussein.
Well, I don't know what to expect. I am as curious as the rest of the audience out there. We don't know what he's going to say, but I'm sure it will be somewhere along where the VP. He may not be give her the exact name, but he may probably point her in the right direction. And I hope he just doesn't come and leave, like Leo said. I hope you will give her more chance. I know you already finished restricting out to one question. So if this is a way to dodge the bullet, we have not even started firing yet. So I hope you will give her more chance to explore that thing, because the Omen Boyka has proven to be the front runner right now, especially within the opposition, and it is very important that we know what's going on that side. The too much uncertainty is kind of like discouraging voters. I think voters' excitement is low, so we really need some real definite answer, so that we can know where we're heading. You know. So I don't know. We can only hope that he has some very pertinent information to share today. Oh, the mayor runner will.
Well, we'll just wait and see. Maybe they are preparing. There we go. I was gonna say they're preparing the studio for our guests to appear and begin to tell us what's going on. But I think we had to go to Fagon, right? You were the only person who didn't share your thoughts about our guest today. So let's go ahead, Mr. Fagon. Can you please tell us what you expect to hear?
Well, thank you. I'll take off from what Al Hussein said. If he's coming in to dodge the bullets, we haven't started firing yet. And then Leo said that we hope he doesn't leave us again speculating. And so just from the two of them, I just want to tell them your expectation is not going to be met tonight, simply because he will be inexperienced and not expedient at this time for him to, ahead of the candidate, to announce the name of who he's going to choose. Then what's the point of JMB coming out to say, I'm choosing this person, when Amos 12 is going to say that? So Amos 12 is not going to say that here. Maybe the best you will get from Amos 12 tonight is to tell you that the old man is set on the pick, and that a date, hopefully, or a time frame has been set, and that a lot of things are in motion to be accomplished. The direct questions he will not answer tonight, because that will be inexpedient to do. If he does that, then of course there's no need for JMB to have any other team, because they may finish talking all. But
man can talk all, man can talk all, man can talk all. Fagon, you right.
Exactly that.
But it's good to have Amos 12. Amos, it's good to have you, my man. You know, we so happy. You know Leo Napolo Johnson, you know Al Hussein. You are not stranger to that, to Richard saying. Our sister Salamatu is here with us. You understand that I'm just here because you asked me to, and after this we're gonna leave together. So under 15 minutes, let's make this thing happen. Good.
So you can protect me already.
But man, listen, I get in my own machine. The people say I'm gonna come because they miss me. My fans say I'm gonna come. That's your business. Go do your own thing. But man, listen. That Liberia we hear about, we gotta call spade or spade, but that's your business. Leave me alone. I'll say. But that's a good one. Amos, what's up, man? Good to see you.
Don't mind Fadiga. Don't mind Fadiga. I'm a different thing. But anyway, let me say thanks and good evening to all of you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am very glad to be on again. I think after several weeks or months of being absent, it is such a very great honor to be with you all. And let me say thanks for the invitation. I look forward to having a very brief dialogue with you, because we're quite very busy, extremely busy. I have another engagement tonight. So, I'm just going to be very brief with you tonight. So thank you.
So let's get into it. Now you know everybody. Why are you here, Amos? What's going on?
Oh yeah, sure. It's always important and necessary to inform our people about what the UP is doing, what our next steps are, which is part of full disclosure principle. As a mature and responsible political party, Before we come up to some of the different issues, it's also important to let you know, first off, that the Unity Party has begun what we refer to as the selection of its legislative candidates through what we call a simple majority resolution. And it's important to let you know that that simple majority resolution is something that is going to emanate from the districts and county leaderships. So in essence, when it comes to the selection of legislative candidates to contest on the ticket of the Unity Party, that responsibility has been arrogated to the local leadership of the Unity Party at the district and county levels. For representative aspirants, it's obviously at the district level. So they are going to be charged with the responsibility to look amongst cream of partisans who are desirous of contesting on the party ticket to make the best decision through a simple majority resolution. So what that means is that we're not going to do primaries, but and it's going to be through consensus building. Consensus is part of democracy. It's a major tendency of democracy. So the UP is in the process. There are lots of folks who is our understanding by our local leaders who are already been selected and of course sending in their applications. Part of what we also decided as an affirmative action as a responsible political party is that we have what we call a 20% waiver for female legislative aspirants. And this is consistent with Article 1415 of the Unity Party's Constitution, which basically talks about 30% neutral gender provision. So we must have 30% representation for all gender at leadership level, at legislative, and so on. So it's consistent. That decision is consistent with that provision, and is basically intended as a party to continue to reaffirm our commitment of ensuring that more women participate in the democratic space of our country. So the UP has taken that affirmative decision to waive 20% on registration fees for female legislative candidates. So it's also important to let you know that the UP still remains very much committed to the partnership with friendly political parties, and we're holding consistent discussions and dialogues. And of course, there is going to be the appropriate time where we decide on the very pathway, but the UP is very committed to that. Now, it's also important to let you know that, I know that it has been a very major concern about what is the next step for Joseph Joman Boakai. When is the old man going to name his running mate? And I'm glad that my dear friend Eugene laid the premise, the foundation. My task tonight is not to call the name of an individual. That responsibility squarely rests with Joseph Joman Boakai, the political leader of the UP and the default leader of the opposition community in Liberia. So what we've come to say to you on this platform and to our Liberian people is that all is now set for the announcement of JNB's running mate on Friday, April 28, 2023. And that announcement is going to be made at the headquarters of the Unity Party on Broad Street, Friday, April 28, 2023. JNB is going to name his running mate. Of course, as we've always indicated, or JNB has always indicated, that running mate is someone who shares in JNB's vision for the transformation of this country. Someone who is ready to hit the ground running from day one. And of course, someone who is ready to help implement JNB's vision for Liberia's transformation. So basically, this is where we are. The UP is continuing efforts to rally what we refer to as coalition of the willing in participating in the democratic unseating or removal of the George Weah's administration. The UP is very committed to that, and we're looking forward to work with the people of Liberia to fulfill that objective.
Thank you very much, Amos Stewart. We're going to squeeze it just because we got about 10 more minutes to go. We have to squeeze you very quick. We said thank you very much for coming and giving this breaking news, folks. Just heard from Amos Stewart. Next week, Friday, the 28th of April, Jose Yima Bwaka, former vice president, standard bearer of Unity Party, would be giving a very major announcement on his VP pick. Guys, real quick, your best one question that Amos play. And I know we're going to have him, or we're going to have Reverend Tapper prior to that date, next week, Friday. But your best one question, let's shoot. We're going to start with you, Honorable Eugene Lami Fagon.
By the way, before Eugene comes in, I just want to use this occasion on behalf of the Unity Party to extend our very deepest appreciation to Mr. Fagon. The last time we heard that, you've made public pronouncement about declaring, supporting the candidacy, the presidential ambition of Joseph Jaman Boakai. The Unity Party is very glad to have men like you on board.
Thank you very much, Emma Stewart. We got to go because we got about 10 minutes.
Thank you very much. I will look forward to working with you.
It's so good that you appreciating Fagon, but we have to go. We get about 10 minutes, and I myself, I have to run. So let's start with Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson, please.
So is the VP vice presidential pick a female or a male?
That I can say to you, it's either going to be a female or a male.
But that's what I get, right?
You know, Dr. Richardson, you are very, very smart. That was going to end the interview tonight. Thank you very much. Salamatu.
No, I honestly, I don't have any questions. I was waiting for something bigger. So, but thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Salamatu. Hussein.
Well, I know you will not answer this question, but I'll just put it out there. There has been call from Liberians from all walks of life that the opposition should come together. Apparently, since you guys left the CPP, we have not seen the whole flux flying towards you guys. And is there any plan to bring more people on board? Because we have not seen it yet. We have not seen that big collaboration that was expected. Is there any reason why?
Hussein, I just told you that the UP has friendly parties that we've been working with for the last few years. And we're still working with those parties. So they are our partners in progress. And we're looking forward to working with more parties.
When are we going to see that public announcement? That's what I'm talking about.
So very soon, it is going to, it's a step-by-step process, Hassan. So the UP is definitely going to work with political parties, towards the October 10th polls. So in essence, we're not going to be alone, standing in the forest. We have partners, and we're very, very confident that we'll continue to work with those partners to support the presidential ambition of Joseph Jaman Boakai.
But right now, just to be fair, before we go to Leo, though, what are some of the other parties you have right now collaborating with Unity Party?
We still have our own political parties. ALP is a very strong party with us. We're still in collaboration. We've been working. ALP is one of our strongest allies. Of course, we have the LP. We have Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, a very strong woman. We call her the lioness. There are a number of other parties that we're also working with. So, the last time about 7 to 8 political parties came together to speak with one voice. So while we are speaking on issues of mutual interest to the various parties, we're also making efforts to make sure that we remain together towards the October 10 polls. So
you made a mistake, Leo, go ahead.
Is not a party. I heard you mention nobody as a party. She's I don't know how you have to make that clear, because based on what we know legally, she's no longer a member of the Liberty Party. So are you referring to her as an individual or as a?
Well, I'm not a party either. I'm not a party. I'm an individual.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Guys, I know we would do this. Hussein, I know we're gonna do this. Let's get to Leo real quick, because trust me, we still get about 7 minutes to go. I want to bring in Leo and Fagon because it's important. I beg you, Hussein. Leo, go ahead.
Thank you. Good to see you, SG Emostwe. Thank you for joining us. My question to you is Unity Party taking these elections very seriously, as it should be? If so, how come we've seen unchecked for the first time in the history of Liberia, a biometric voter registration process without any poll watchers, without any guarding of the process by Unity Party, who expects to go to an election relying on the data that's being collected right now. And don't you think you did not answer the question of disenfranchising women from participating in politics when the question was to remove barriers to increase their participation rather than reducing registration fees?
First off, I think your statement is much more blanket, Leo. And it's unfactual. The Unity Party had monitors across the various biometric voter registration centers. We have monitors across the 6 counties. So we collected information. On the basis of some of the information that we gather, it informed our position. Our standard bearer, the leader of the Unity Party, His Excellency Joseph Nyamabwaka's position on behalf of opposition political parties at the signing ceremony of the Farmington Declaration on April 4th. So because we had monitors and monitoring the different activities and of the networkers, so we came up with those information that inform our position as a party. Okay, so we have monitors there.
Yeah, can I just follow up quickly while you're on that to say, if that is the case, based on everything you guys found, then are you going to go ahead and validate the numbers that are being announced for the elections, or are you going to be contesting the information from NEC?
So we're holding discussion. The truth is that we know that even the NEC has some challenges. We highlighted the challenges. We highlighted the institutional inadequacies or inefficiencies. And we call on the Election Commission on the basis of those, for example, to extend the voter registration period. You understand? That request was not heeded for the number of days we wanted them to extend it. So, however, we are still doing tap elections. The process has not ended. We are now moving into the second phase of the biometric voter registration centers. So, I mean, the voter registration exercise. So what we're doing, UP is also trying now to deploy its monitors across the 9 counties. So once we do that, we are again going to be able to effectively and efficiently monitor the activities of the Electoral Commission to inform our further steps or further judgment. That's what I can say to you.
Thank you. The second question about the female votes.
What was that?
Disenfranchising women about removing barriers for their participation instead of reducing registration fee, which doesn't still deal with any of the inequities for the reasons why women don't win on political party seats in Liberia.
But it failed to select a female vice president.
No, so you see, if we're talking about parties that have empowered or provided a platform for increasing women's participation in the democratic space of Liberia, the Unity Party comes first. You know that. The UP produced a female president, the first time in the history of this country. No other parties have done that.
Suspended her as well.
From the party.
No, that's not the point.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, I'm not understanding. That should not be an example.
Let's get to Amos.
No, but that should not be an example.
Well, that was not my
It's an example because it's a history.
That's an example.
question.
Because you're not answering his question.
No, but Kalimatu, wait now.
Mr. Twy, you had the guess. Leo, hold on a minute. Let's just get something straight. Mr. Twy.
The only
way did not become president of Liberia on the ticket of the Unity Party.
Mr. Twy, hold on 1 minute.
Mr. Salif, president of Liberia.
I will beg you guys. Let's get to Fagon.
Decided to help a woman raise to the top level. She worked for it.
Because she worked for theirs too. She said, because she worked.
Maybe I should ask my question.
Leo, you did this yesterday and you're doing it again today. You know? But let's bring in Fagon. Fagon, please.
Actually, I think I want to ask my question.
After Fagon.
We're feeling passing by you. Not asking questions.
No, I will ask that question.
The Honorable Fagon, please.
Well, I'd like to welcome Brother Amos Twer, and I would like to thank him for proving beyond all reasonable doubt when it comes to women participation in Liberian politics at the level at which it is being asked for legislative purposes. The Unity Party stands at the top for producing the highest office in the land when it comes to women. And also the women participation in government cannot be underscored enough under the Unity Party regime. We don't need to go into that. But let me ask you this question for the purpose of clarity. The Unity Party, you explain, is working collaboratively with other political parties in what is now being dubbed the Coalition of the Willing. The Unity Party, as a single institution from that coalition, is actually selecting its legislative and other aspirants. But for the purpose of clarity, in a collaborative effort when it comes to the coalition, that is going to be synchronized and everybody is going to come up with these aspirants, correct? Or these candidates?
For sure, you're correct, Eugene. You're correct on that.
Permit me at this time to extend my thanks and appreciation to the Honorable Joseph Numa Boakai, and please convey to him my willingness to use everything within my arsenal in making him the next president of the Republic. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Including calling me arrogant.
Before you leave, we got about
talking room to the other room today.
we got about two more minutes to go. Thank God that Irami just joined us. Irami, we have the Secretary General of Unity Party. Your question, please. He gave a very big announcement on the 28th of April, next week, Friday. Jose Yima Bwaka will be giving his announcement concerning his VP chores. Your question for the Secretary General, please.
Secretary General, tell us the general health of the ambassador.
You say what?
Tell us the health of the ambassador. Is he in good shape to lead our country?
Ambassador Bwaka is in good health, in good shape. His mental state is very alight, and he's upbeat to provide the kinds of transformational leadership that Liberia desires.
Thank you very much. Let me ask you my question. Thank you, Irami. Great. Emastua, let me ask my question to you. No, it's only one. It was only one, sir.
I'm going back to Salamatu too.
Salamatu will take us home, but let me ask my question to Emastua. Emas, you got only Salamatu left? Yeah. So this is my question to you, though. We've been hearing this, Roman, Mr. Twe, that JMB meeting folks within the party, outside of the party. We understand that the first person that been around and that person, the JMB, was ALP political leader, Ben Nayuri. But he came up with some announcement. He took himself out. He said, I don't want to be VP. We also understand that people that left JMB was engaged in. He went to Bikana. He met some folks, including Yombly Father. I want you to announce, or I want you to tell us if you can, with all the gathering and all the engagement, after the announcement, whosoever it would be to be JMB VP, how important would that person be? And what would that person bring to the JMB ticket? What would be the next step after the announcement?
The first thing I want to say to you, which makes us really happy, is the fact that all of the parties on the table right now, have committed themselves to the fact that they're going to remain supportive of JMB's presidential ambition, regardless of whether or not they are picked as VP. This is a very good news. And I think it's a very patriotic decision on their part. We are looking forward to them remaining committed to their promises. And I'm very much confident, the party is very confident that we will continue to work with them. On the other point, look, again, JNB has said it consistently that he wants a VP that shares his vision for the transformation of this country. So that person is going to come on board with several. That person is going to bring several contributions, on the table. One of which is they are going to help to bridge generational gap. They're going to obviously they have enormous energy, and the person is going to be a patriotic citizen and a transformational leader at that. And of course, so is someone who we believe JNB is the person, will work with JNB from the day one up to the finish line. Those are the critical indicators or leadership characteristics that JNB has been looking at examining in individuals. And on the basis of those, he has now concluded that hopefully on Friday, April 28th, he's going to make that much heralded or anticipated announcement. Name his running mate. And immediately as JNB names his running mate, we're going to hit the ground running. We have to transverse the Republic of Liberia. Whichever county the president is from, obviously we have to pay visitation to the president's county, and then we have to go across the country to market, the ticket on the overall, and to at the same time to assure the people of Liberia that the JNB team is more than ready prepared to live up to their overarching
Real
aspirations.
quick, thank you very much. I know you got to go. Your folks telling me right now that you have to run, and I myself, we have to run. I will say this to you. Leo is coming back. He got to take a 15-minute break. But let me say to you real quick, Mr. Sam Amos 12, we said thank you very much. You just said also to confirm and correct me if I'm wrong, either or whosoever JNB going to choose to be his VP, those he been engaging, those folks he been talking to, they all vow to remain. Am I correct?
Yes, that's what they've said to us. I said
Amos,
something, that's what they've said to us.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. And I hope we can have you or the Reverend, the chairman, to appear before Friday. We say thank you very much. And our regards to you and your family. Thanks.
And we're looking forward, by the time the announcement is done, we'll come back on the platform. Then we can hold all the other detailed discussions. Salimatu will discuss. Yeah? You ask all your questions, my sister. Thank you.
The voice and the person here, Amos 12, Secretary General, Unity Party, Dr. Richardson, Eugene Lamifagon. Let me leave you with your Salimatu, Eugene. Dr. Richardson, my dear, thank you very much.
That caused confusion.
Hussein, listen. Spoon Talk got to go on, the radio station got to run. We say thank you very much. You have a wonderful program. But that's a big news, though. I'm going to say this to you, Salimatu. This is a very, very big news. Fagon can move ahead with what was done today in Bombay. There was a big meeting held today in Bombay. People left that meeting being more united than divided. The forces went to that meeting in Bombay. It's like when ECOWAS were having a retreat in Kumasi, in Accra, for that peace talk to bring everlasting peace to Liberia. The different summit said, gentlemen, we got to go. When they call Prince Johnson, when they call Alhaji Kroman, when they call Chasteda, then we were thinking at that time, we're just saying that waiting.
It also remind me of 2017.
So it's happening right now. I don't see the Matado Toro. It's happening right now. But the summit today in Bombay was a good summit. And I know you guys will discuss it. Folks, we say thank you very much. You have a wonderful, wonderful program. Good night. Thank you. Look at Salimatu. That Richardson, take a show.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even know where to start. These people here. I'm telling you.
Honestly, I'm still trying to understand. I just keep hearing, it's a very big meeting and everybody was happy. Yeah. What was the essence of the happiness? What's the happiness? That secret?
They want to say like brother. Look, everything. I'm just having flashback from 2017. Honestly, Salimatu, I'm sure you were there. You say
we thought
everything. In that bombing country, that the same place we started to hear noise from. All the ER money, it was hard the same way. The next day, they say, I started getting called. All the men ain't been the money. They say they ran away the money. The other person received their own money. Look, anyway, Mataka got a lot to say on that.
Yeah, so let's go back and review some of what we heard. And, I'm hearing some good questions, what the happiness is all about. But again, in fact, let me just be fair and give everybody an opportunity to just reflect on what you just heard. And then there's some specific questions that I like for you guys to respond to. So I'm going to go to E. Remy Gray and then to Honorable Fagon. So what did you just heard? They made announcement and other things, transformational leader, generation change, energetic, and a what? Go ahead.
That was
You
me.
know, again, I'll hold my breath until I hear who is the hidden flock, the individual that is going to be named as the running mate of the ambassador, because then that's the beginning of the of the formation of politics in our country regarding our own opposition politics. Thing is, I anticipate a big fight if certain things don't hold on together, and that fight wouldn't largely probably touch the ruling establishment. It would be like, you know, a fight between within the opposition. That's why some of us were advocating for that unity, but it's going to be bloody. They can have any bombing convention. They can have um, the Western Cluster Convention, any convention they want to have. But at the end of the day, Eugene is preparing his arsenal. He just said it. And I can tell you there will be some bloody war in terms of what we're obtaining the opposition if certain
Okay.
things don't hold together. And that is the one I look forward to.
Thank you, E. Raymond Gray. I'm going to move on to Honorable Fagan. Mr. Fagan, can you just tell us? You heard what the SG said, and you are very impressed. You told us that there was a great meeting held in Bombing today. Would you like to just expand on your happiness about this meeting?
Well, thank you. Why shouldn't I be happy? I am happy because today at least you've got clarity on the date. And there wouldn't have been a date set for the announcement unless there was a candidate that was picked. So two important things happened today.
Mm-hmm.
It means that the old man has gotten down to his pick. And I said, guys, go out there, tell the people I'm coming out on this date and I'm presenting my pick to you all. This has been a long awaited news. And that's why everyone is celebrating. The second reason why everyone is celebrating is unless we have cause to believe that contributing parties will put up a fight. But it's been going on for 6 years and they're not putting up a fight. They were all there today. They were all in good spirit. Everything happened nicely. The third thing here is this, that it is for sure now that the coalition of the willing is announced. And him being from the Unity Party, he said they're already working on their candidates for the legislative pick. So when this coalition comes together, you can clearly see Unity Party will already have their own people. The other people will bring their people. And at the end of the day, the coalition will decide who's running in Bomi, who's running in Cape Town, who's running in Lofa. But as far as the decision of who the standard bearer of the coalition will be, that decision has been taken by the coalition of the willing. And in every coalition, it is the president that picks his vice presidential pick. And in this case, he's going to do that. He's already done that. And a date has been set. So there's massive celebration, I'm told right now, massive jubilations in the capital. People are now filling the bars and what have you, and they're now beginning to merry-make and drink. Let's not forget, one of the reasons why they're celebrating is because for 3 months now, nobody have gotten paid. And it's safe to say that even if people get paid, it'll be the Liberian dollar component maybe for 1 month. They cannot get the US dollars for the next 3 months. The NEC is struggling. And we all know we've been crying. So there's a reason why people are happy. It's because some form of relief is on the way to the Liberian people. And so this announcement brings about that.
Thank you, Mr. Fagon. Salamatu, you had a reaction when the SG talked about the Unity Party selected a female, And then your reaction was they were also the first to suspend a female from the party. And your what are your thoughts? I do have recollection of Ellen Johnson saying, I worked hard to get where I am. I worked hard to be a president, and you're gonna have, I think she was specifically talking to Joseph Boca, like, you're gonna have to work hard for this. I remember an interview of her saying so. What were your reaction?
I mean, number one, lover, hater, EJS she worked hard for what she wanted. She was pretty much the only woman in that space. So it wasn't like they handed anything to her. It wasn't like they helped her get anything. She worked her butt off to get to where she was, to reach that glass ceiling, to tap the glass ceiling. And, you know, it's sad when we sit on a platform and say, oh, you know what? We want to use now her accomplishment as a way to sort of uplift the party, as if the party is helping so many women. You know, when we look at women participation in the political field, we look at the reasons why we don't find a lot of women within that space and why we need women in that space. And three of the reasons, of course, you know, most women, they decided they're not politicians per se. And then number two, you have the voters bias. And the third reason is the political party, their willingness to support women candidates. And that comes with, you know, providing funding for them, promoting them, you know, putting them out there. And what I wanted to ask
them as well, the issue
exactly. Yeah. So you know, when he started talking about women participation, I honestly wanted to ask him what was the percentage of women within the party, what was the percentage of women at the decision making table, because I know for a FACT that Liberty Party could possibly be the only party that has 50-50 representation of women on the executive committee, meaning that this is the body that actually makes decision. They sit at the table, they make the decision, the final decisions, you know, along, of course, with the party, but they make the decisions for the party. That's when we talk about you creating an environment where women can thrive. That's the type of things we're talking about. We're not talking about waiving registration fee for somebody to join your party. We're looking at, okay, have you recruited women who are capable, who are willing to serve within the political party and not tokens? Number two, what exactly are you doing to help them remain in that space? Are they at the decision-making table, or you just putting their name on paper so you can say, oh, we have women? So, you know, I hope he come back on the 28th. I know everybody will be excited about VPP, but I will ask you my question. Two, why are we waiting for the 28th to make this announcement? If you have the VP announce it, I'm not understanding why this date. As I can recall, there was another date. I think you and we talked one time. You told me one other date. I must say I was waiting. I didn't hear it, but I just kind of chalk it up to say, you know what? At the time, because I'm assuming you're really inside UP now. But at the time, you wasn't really inside UP. So now, yeah, why are we waiting till next week? Y'all just announced the thing.
So I beg you, Fadika, I was going to you, but I see Mr. Papi respond.
Yeah, she asked a very important question. Why are we waiting for next week, Friday? The reason is very simple. We are Liberians. When you bring in somebody outside, even a baby, you have to create that celebration. There must be the program. The program has to be planned. You got to get the bands, the country devil coming to town, the dancers will be there, the masquerade, the people want to be able to see. You have to put together the police structure to make sure that the people coming from across the bridge, when they cross the bridge, there wouldn't be traffic jam, because the people coming from Queensville and everywhere converging in the city center for the Unity Party headquarters. All of the modalities need to be worked and put in place appropriately. There must be water and stuff, you know, so you need that window to be able to do it. And it must be done on the weekend, because after people have jubilated, they have danced themselves up, they need to rest on Saturday to be able to go to church on Sunday. And the celebration will continue well into Saturday, which is going to be what we will call the me event.
Okay, well, me, I remember September 17, was it? September 17, 2017. That
It will
was
not be easy. It will not be easy. I'm
so
gonna
let me so
go. I tell you,
I'm watching.
we're waiting. For the guy, I want to go to you. You had said that you were having flashback, for lack of a better word, of what happened in 2017 when there was all this harp about, this hype about Mr. Vice President Booker getting supported by all these different persons. They were getting all these coalition, this party together. And you said this reminded you of 2017. Can you speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah, I watched a video this morning of Councillor Bronskin, and he had a barrage attack on VP Boyka. By this time, there was this air of Native Congo.
Yes.
You remember that Native Congo debate?
Yes, I
It's
remember.
time to bubble up, and this is our time, the
This is
native
our
time.
time. That was the word.
And then he went and chose Nikwe, a guy from nowhere, and we're shocked that he chose Nikwe. I supported him at that time, but I was not too excited why he chose Nikwe. And then one of the things that to boost Nikwe came out with a native Congo debate, and that infuriated Councillor Bronskin, and it set the stage for them losing the election eventually. And I'm seeing something again. I don't know who he's going to pick, but I just hope that it is carefully well thought of, because Amos Tour says something that we want to be watching. He said, who VP Boyka going to choose going to be someone that share his vision, share someone that he's passionate about. And once we see that disconnect, that it is an open secret now that it's going to be Jeremiah Kuhn. Except when something happened, it's going to be Kuhn, and we're going to be looking at Kuhn and looking at his associate, looking at the Prince Johnson factor, and all those other things that will come into play if he makes that decision. If he goes to Young Woody, she might not save a candidate. We can look at other stuff, Young Woody, but right now it looked like it's going to be Kuhn. And that it brings a lot of more question into his decision making. What are some of the things that are going in there? Is he aligned with War and Economic Crime Code for Liberia? Knowing Prince Johnson history, knowing that Prince Johnson going to be just a heartbeat away from the president, because we all know that Jeremiah Kuhn in itself brings no vote to the table. It's going to be Prince Johnson again. So knowing all those things, and then how it plays out with the international community, people that are trying to get those people to bring justice to Liberia. So that is another thing that I pay attention to when Toye spoke. So we will be paying attention to that. Another thing again, this speaks to why we need opposition unity. And say where by some miracle there will never be two opposition candidates will never meet during the second round. So the chances or the likelihood that two opposition will meet and George react with 40, it is almost 0 to nothing. So eventually, one of the opposition candidates will have to meet President Weah in the second round. And what that brings, what I would do is the fight, the first round, want to be more of a fight between the opposition, which is worrisome. This fight gonna be very bloody. I'm not mean physically, but figuratively. It's gonna be very nasty. It's gonna get very nasty. And by the time we go to second round, I hope people have enough strength to be able to fight George Weah. And this is why we that have looked at everything and say, you know what? Put your country first. Sit down, let put the ego aside, put all those things, because honestly, everybody have dug in, and those guys that were calling the underdog, that the CPP. Now this is time for them to get to back on the drawing board. Look, 6 months, 5 months is a lot of time in politics. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So if people decide to put
I want to talk for over 5
my
minutes.
man,
Now she call me awful.
you kill that 2 times, you put your finger on we talk. Let me finish with it.
Okay, 2
Let me finish
seconds.
with it. So at the end of the day, this fight going to be very nasty, and who knows? But I'm just hoping for the best and preparing for the worst.
Yeah, so I'm going to move on to Remy
Let
to
me
come
give
up.
you my observation quick, just 2 seconds.
Oh, before I ask you, that's what I was going to get to you to ask you another question, and maybe you can include that in your observation. And so, the SG talked about transformational leadership. He talked about breaching the generation gap. So, do you think that this team that they're putting together uh, is capable of bridging the generation gap? We know that our youth population is large in our country. And did you get that sense from listening to him?
Madam, what I sense is that you have an SG that doesn't know exactly what is happening within Ambassador Burkhart's courtship. And this is who the ambassador is. He holds everything to his chest. And I can tell you it's a big guess. Eugene, all of them are locked out of the decision making. They're only guessing, cherry picking on the surface what they believe. These are all what we call window dressing discussion. Uh, what strange message was delivered here by the SG. He's not even closer to Ambassador Buckeye's courtship to even understand who he's bringing for the VP. We all might be up for a rooting awakening to see who the ambassador will bring, and of course, Eugene will be fanning that issue that people will be lining up from Buze Quarter to Duco. Now he has taken it. It's going further now. It's in bombing. People will be lining up there going
It's moving along.
yeah, it keep going. But the thing is, that which is dead on arrival, you can't create excitement when good question, why wait for the 28th before you can reveal who is going to be this whole thing is
Why
not
you
going
can't
to be
ask
about
Cummings when he going to produce his?
um
At
why
least we give you a
we
date.
keep making this VP pick to be like it's the election we've won already, but people having fanfare according to him, we'll be having celebration. I mean, you get picking a VP and you're making a big deal out of it. For a campaign that will be largely broke. Why not pay attention to how you begin to bring excitement for people to bring their money there, instead of making excitement about the VP pick. And so this is boring. Is for some of us who have watched our politics, I don't think the SG is even closer. Just like Amin Modad was locked out along with Mo Ali, they didn't know what was going on within the ambassador's courtship until they got their message in Banga. They gave them an exit ticket, and that was wise. And this SG, you see, it will always speak on the surface because it's not closer to the ambassador.
So I'm hearing you say, Remy, that the former vice president tend not to engage people in dialogues. Like you're saying that many of the people who you think are in his circle don't know what he's doing. That's what you say.
Yes,
Okay.
that's how he operates. That's how he
Okay.
operates. He's a very good security guy. He has that mind of a security guy. You never know his next move, and he never discusses. You see him, he sits, he just look at you. You say all the discussion, and that's it. He moves on.
Is it possible, do you think, and this question is we're going to go back in rotation, Sadamatu, is it possible that we are hearing Kuhn, that it could be somebody else? It could be Henry Costa, it could be Yombly. So so you're shaking your head. So you think it's Kuhn?
I'm not hearing any of those names. I'm not hearing any of those names. I'm hearing someone.
So I think it's fair you asking. So which name you hearing? Say you're not hearing another one. Which one you hearing?
You are closer. You should not be asking.
But you condemn
it
the people
shows you don't know.
who have heard. You condemn all of us. So you tell us which one you hearing now. You say we condemn.
He said he's not hearing. It's fair. He's not hearing anybody. So it's
then
fair.
Why condemn the one that are hearing?
Well, he's entitled to that now, Mr. Falcon.
Thank you. So let's move on.
So we'll move on. We'll move on. So my question, though, again, something that I wanted to know more about this vetting process. I wanted to know the the vice president expectation for he's a presidential candidate now, for his vice president? Did he want somebody who he knows can make good decisions, sound decision under pressure? Did he want someone who, have a history of passing laws and being a representative in the country? Did he want someone who had good verbal communication skills where you'll be able to speak on his behalf? Did he want someone that have a history of, doing a project and doing it well, have some success history, a proven track record? So I wanted to know more about the vetting process. But I'm going to move on to ask Salimatu again. They keep on talking about transformation. One of the things he said was that the vice presidential candidate pick shares the president's vision. Okay, he said shares the transformation, the president's vision to transform Liberia. Did you get a sense? Did he tell us what do you think the vice president's vision is? Do you know anything about that?
Unity Party has a lot of spokesperson who, they're not really saying anything. They're saying much of nothing. So we don't know the vision. We don't know. It will be nice to hear from the standard bearer. It will be nice for the standard bearer to say who his peak is. It will be nice for the standard bearer to have stopped all of these guessing that was happening for the past month or two. It'll be nice to hear from him. And like I said before, it's hard for me to comment on a VP peak when I haven't, heard from the standard bearer of the party. So hopefully next week, Friday, we can hear from the standard bearer. He can make his announcement and we can have all these questions. And hopefully the people they sent out to speak on his behalf, they actually have the answers for all of these questions. But as it stands right now, most of the things we're doing, we are speculating. We're guessing based on not what we've heard from him. It's the same thing with the whole coming should go FVP. We didn't hear from him. All of the names that they're naming, we didn't hear from him. So, we need to hear from him. When he made his announcement, when he don't put the person here up, then I think it will really resonate for us to have our questions.
Oh, thank you, Salimatu. And I'm going to go back to you, Fadiga. Based on, again, what the SG said.
Why you got to go to Fadiga again? After Salimatu was supposed to be my time.
Oh, I gave you that time. Take it.
No. That is, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry because I didn't see you come.
When you see Salimatu, that's why I like for you and I.
That would have been doing to you the entire time, eh?
Greatly. And I just told him, Salimatu, now I'm leaving.
So what he left for yesterday because I wasn't even here.
Because I'd rather spend my time around Salimatu than to come sit down with people that who know.
I'm telling you,
you had time.
No, the man was running away from his video.
No, the man was not running away. That man don't run away.
So, the video he was pressing Veka.
Fago, my question to you is, what do you think? Since you're in the circle or outside the circle or close to the circle, I don't even know. What do you think JMB vision is to transform Liberia? What have you heard that we don't know?
The first point I want to make, I just want you all to realize that you are 4 CPP ANC supporters here. Against me alone. Then when you finish going around again, you go back to the same people, you leave me out. The only reason I'm saying that because of Salimatu, I want to make sure she's protected. That's the only reason. Because you see, that's why I tagged him with Salimatu. She had to protect me just now. She said, no.
Yeah.
After we great, I may let go back.
That's true. She protects.
That's why you see I always stick with Salimatu.
Please.
And one of our win somebody over the other side.
That's true.
But anyway, let me address something quickly, 30 seconds to Iremi Gray. You are saying that the old man keeps things to his heart. The Secretary General don't know what he's talking about. But this is a man that came on just now and gave you an exact date. You have not given us a date. You don't even know who's your candidate. And the reason why I say so, I'm informed by when my brother Musa Hassan Belete sat on the show and said you guys was going to a convention. So you don't even have a candidate. We have a candidate. So there's no comparison there. You don't have a Secretary General giving us a date to say April 28th. We have done that. You don't even have a party. Tightly, you say you don't think we even have money. You don't have a party. You don't have a candidate that money you will get. So I think we're all in the opposition. Let me put it that way. And I think we all need to show some respect to each other than to be denigrating or demeaning each other. I'm just appealing to you. Because to look at a whole party and say they didn't get money. So when you want to tell me Alpha are broke and are supporting JMB, you want to say I broke? You can say I broke. So let's help each other. Now, let me come to the question I was asked.
Yes.
About the transformation.
Yes.
Everybody attacks Ambassador Joseph Nima Boakai on account of his heart. But one of the reasons why you attack him on his heart is because he's carried Liberia in his heart for 42 years. He's been carrying our country with a heavy heart. It's now he's probably going to deliver it. But I want to tell you what exactly the heart means. You always hear Joseph Boakai talk about think Liberia, love Liberia, and what have you. If you think about the human heart, and you think about the spelling of the heart,
I thought it was arrest. No, man. I thought it was arrest, but it's heart.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you change the letters around, A-R-E-S-T, we are adding the H there. Those of us as supporters.
Okay.
And the reason why we're making Liberia our heart right now is because the H stands for healthcare. He's going to deliver better on healthcare. We will go into the details, but out of respect for time for my colleagues, I'm just going to give you what each letter stands for. A-R-E-S-T is there, but we're going to take Liberia into our heart, and that's why we're taking the decision. The H stands for the heart. The E stands for education. The A stands for agriculture. We're going to make sure we're able to feed ourselves in the first 6 years of his presidency. We will not give $11 million to businessmen when we can give $7 million to Jabba, Armstrong Jabba, and the other people to feed us. Now,
I can tell you what RT stands for before you even said.
Yeah, the R stands for road connectivity. The T stands for transform. Give me a chance now. The T stands for the key word you keep using tonight. Transformation, which will lead to economic growth and sustainability. So you have H for healthcare, E for education, A for agriculture, R for road connectivity, and T for transformation leading to economic growth and sustainability. As far as we're concerned, our choice of JMB is the choice of the Liberian people. And no one on this platform can debate. And that's why people are calling for the two groups to come together. But the Liberian people have made a choice. And it's our duty as patriotic citizens to honor the request of the Liberian people to make this man president. It is their request. It's what they want. And as a patriotic citizen, I will deliver to the people what they ask for.
Thank you. There you have it, Liberians. Honorable Fagon has told us this transformation vision that JNB has for Liberia. You can use the acronym HEART. I thought it was arrest, but he just told me, you know, they did some reconfiguration.
No, we the supporters.
Yes.
We the supporters.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah, the supporters did some configuration of the letters, and now they are calling it HEART. The H for healthcare, the E for education, the A for agriculture, the R for road connectivity, the T is for transformation leading to economic growth and sustainability.
Voila. Voila.
Yes. Great.
Welcome to our wedding in Burmese, Salimatu and I.
Yeah, we'll carry the hot song. Me, I got my hot song.
What the hot song stand for? What the hot song stand for?
I even go into that. No, I'll go there. Go. I'll show that there is not the love connection here. With the
I know.
no, no L in our there.
Sorry, I have to run.
Thank you anyway.
No, stay.
No.
You're strong.
No, Salimatu, they won't ban us,
No, you're strong. And Monday, even though I will not be on, I will be watching.
Salimatu, so long you leave the
Ah,
way
no,
people
we
will
can't
treat
do
me.
it.
To copy read me going on, so you somebody
If you
can
leave the way the people will treat me.
They will not, they can make it.
What tell us Samatu will not do anything
They
to
can
you.
make it.
No, but you got to ask them
They can make it.
individually. You got to caution them individually before you go.
You hear me, Gray?
Mhm.
Father God, I beg you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for him.
Oh. Y'all good night.
Bye, Samatu. Thank you for coming in. So there you have it. Fadiga, we'll go to you now. You heard the vision, and the SG told us that whoever the vice president selected to be his pick shares this vision with him. So, do you have any knowledge or any history of the vice president implementing such a vision in this different line of work or in our country? It's possible. In this question, I'm going to come to you, Fagon, because you're in the inner circle. You probably know exactly how he has demonstrated such a vision in our country. But
I'm in the inner circle.
I'm going to talk to Fadia right now.
Doug, you see, well, Falcon is doing what he does best, and he's at it again. Falcon saw us the Unity part, the CDC, and we got this. But the thing about this whole vision, it was just barely 6 years ago that we had a taste of this vision. The Unity Party was in power for 12 years. That we all know. So it's not a party that is not known. It's something that we know that we can measure the Unity Party with. I'm going to hold off some of my bullets for now.
Sure.
I still believe that there should be some opposition unity, however that would be. But I want to caution my friends on the Unity Party side. I have seen this tape played out before, and I'm seeing a repetition of exactly what happened in 2017. What you guys are doing with all the policy statement, all those different things. Look, the Liberian people did not request or have not endorsed Ambassador Boyka to be the next president yet. What, in my opinion, the Liberian people have done is they have endorsed opposition unity. I don't think that the Liberian people have forgotten or they are oblivious of what they went through in the last 12 years under the Unity Party. The meaning that they decide to come back and tell us without consulting, we're all being remorseful, we're all coming back to those same people that were abused and they squandered billions of dollars of opportunity. Then those statements, those things that they did back in the days will start coming back to haunt them. That is why we're very careful that the only way to disguise those past transgression, the only way they could have or make amends, the only way they could have shown remorse is by coming together like a prodigal son and coming back home. Let us not forget, a couple of years ago, the Unity Party were almost non-existent. It took the CPP to resuscitate that party, give them that leg. And I don't think that they were grateful to that CPP. And I think it will come back to haunt them. The notion that that once all the dust is settled, the VP make his choice, the other people have all right to make their choices too. There are almost 20-something political parties. I think it's be fair for each one of them to fight as hard as they can to come second to the incumbent. However that fight will be, you cannot tell me how to fight to reach to that place. Like I said, this first round going to be a fight between the opposition. And it's going to be very nasty.
Thank you. I don't want Mr. Fagon to come and say that I've given you more time to talk again. So let's move on. Mr. Remy Gray, what are your thoughts about this JNB vision that he has to transform Liberia as provided to us by Mr. Fagon? And I will remind you again, he says healthcare, education, agriculture, road, transformation that will lead to economic growth and sustainability. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, Madam, I went to one of the best military academies in South Africa, and I learned communication there, military communication. Sometimes the way we convey our messages will enthusiastically push your troop, you understand, without questioning the mission and the purpose. I thought the R there was for a rescue because there's first it started with ART, then they moved to arrest. Now somebody has put another letter there, H, and then there's rescue one, there's rescue two. You know, these are all confusion in messaging. Marketing is very important. Let the people get used to one tune, and then they will gravitate towards your product. But to begin to come with all this conflicting statement, it just shows that there's Ambassador Buckeye and there's the rest of the individuals who are trying to get into that courtship. I will continue to say that some of us will reserve comment because there's always a future. I don't want to be the next Eugene Fangon, where they play one tape where he was denigrating the old man, and then today he's saying something else. I don't know if I can do well with such a posture where you're playing one thing that I've said against this campaign, and then I mean, even if my youngest child, who is 18 now, hears that, you say, "But Daddy, that's you there. That's not like you." And because I have an image to protect, but I want to say, whatever Ambassador Buckeye, wishes to happen in his campaign, I hope he's going to be able to deliver Liberia to the point where at least a good number of Liberians will benefit. And I'll say that to all the campaigns. People are, scuffling some of us with us, branding us as ANC. In other words, whatever you say, it doesn't make sense. This is why Liberians comfortably try to push you somewhere. They will never see you as being in the center that is more interested in the well-being of the country rather than you are there to protect an individual. And that's not how I do business. The reason I joined the military in Liberia was to protect the state. And that is my central focus. I can never lose sight of that. Madam, you are part of somehow you're part of the ANC. Definitely that I'm one of the main people that sometimes will stand up to Alex Cummins. He will come in and tell you, because the state first, all individuals are secondary, including myself. So that's how I do business. And I'll always reserve that room for decency.
Okay. Thank you, Colonel Gray. Mr. Fagon, so the SG said an important statement that whoever is selected to serve as a VP to Omen Buckeye, this person must help with bridging the generation gap. How important is bridging the generation gap to Omen Buckeye, to the presidential candidate Buckeye?
Oh, let me state first, he did not say must help. He said will help bridge the generational gap.
Okay, thank you for the
compulsory. But
I think in my view, it's compulsory. That's how it came in my head because has a very large.
But let me address something quickly that Remy Gray said.
That would be my qualification. But go ahead.
That I did in the past on the tapes. At least that was 2017. And I think he missed the recent one when I was in government. That's politics. And let me state to Colonel Remy Gray, if he doesn't know, as early as quite recently, from his hand dying on his side to he got a pacer, to your just question about an hour ago about his health. His health. We don't want to play your tape either. And there's a difference between politicians a military scientist. You've done military science, and you are on man tough political science. How would you like, when you say I did military communications, who's next to you? Is that Sergeant Fadiga? Is that Captain Richardson? You are on a democratic platform. You are on a political platform. I think it's fair that you take off your military uniform for a little bit. Every time you remind us about your military background, it scares the crap out of me. And the reason why I say so, and that's why when you speak, I don't talk, because I know you military men, you want people to listen. But looking at what happened at the Lutheran compound, the massacre, when you were a colonel, and the military was invited by Samuel Doe to go on the inspection, do you remember that morning and where you were? Do you remember where you were on that morning? Over 250 persons killed right in front of your face, with you as a colonel in the military. But I think you should remind yourself of some of those scenery during the war, rather than remind us about your military background, because we're in a period of democratic processes. And so when you do military communication, I'm not a military man, so I did political science, and that's why I'm sitting here. Now, with regards to your question, Madam Moderator, let me be clear. I think Iremi Gray heard me over and over, and you will bear me witness. I said, we the supporters, meaning we are not in Unity Party,
Correct.
we're not in the people campaign, but
Correct.
we are carrying JMB because we believe in the heart he has for Liberia.
Yes.
That was my statement. I am a supporter. I have the right to choose what I want to choose. And I have chosen JMB because I will put my hand here. So you can tell me about Connoting, because of the heart. And the letters there represent, we believe he will deliver a better healthcare, he will deliver better education, he will do well in agriculture, he will do well in road connectivity, and he will carry out the transformation necessary for economic growth and sustainability. I am not a military man. That is my right as a supporter. If someone asks me, why are you choosing JMB? I say, I'm choosing JMB because of the heart he has for Liberia. And I broke it down into pieces. You come back to me and say, did military communication and we are getting mixed messages.
But I asked you my question. You're not getting to my question. You just focus here on Remy Gray. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get back to your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Your question is why we believe he will breach his pig will breach the generational gap.
Transformation leader who will bridge the generation gap. And this is important to me. And I believe for the youthful population that we have, we actually need a leader, be it Cummings, be it Bokar, be it Gonglo, that will actually incorporate the promotion of our youthful population, that will lead to, again, some kind of economic sustainability for them, economic participation, jobs, education, those kind of things. So can you tell me how important this bridging the gap is to you as you support Joe Bokar? Because I don't know if you're part, how close are you to the campaign?
It is very important, simply because we had an elderly stateswoman that was our president. And when we had the second elderly statesperson, JMB, to mount the podium, we said, no. We in the 21st century. So we decided to bring a leader that was under 55. When we got to this stage, all we can talk about now is extrajudicial killings, torture, drugs, and what have you. Meaning, I think a whole generation have gotten to realize that we need to pair the old with the young. And whether it be Alexander Cummings, a good man, a great man, he's above 65. Ure is above 65. JMB is above 65. So what we need, all of the leaders running are above 65. Gonglo and all of them. You understand? So they need to come. One of them will be president. But in order to bridge the generational gap, they need a young person. And whether it be Yombly is around 54, 55. Check her age right now. Whether it be Jeremiah Kuhn, you heard him, he called his age the last time, right? So it's a younger generation pairing with an older generation to be able to move the country in the direction that it ought to be. Meaning there will be an elderly statesman like JMB taking a younger person and preparing them for the road ahead. If not, it will still be an elderly statesman like JMB in his 70s. And if even he takes Kumis, I think Kumis is around 66. It's still not bad. He's right there on the borderline. But it will be an elderly generation with the younger one leading the path of our country. And that's what we talk about when we say he will pick someone that will bridge the generational gap. Not like Ellen, who was older. Now JMB is older too. We need someone closer within our bracket.
Thank you. Thank you. We have at 6 o'clock, I want to go to the phone lines. So I'm
But I
actually
wanted to respond to an allegation made by Fangon. You know, this is his second time making an allegation about the Lutheran Church massacre. And, you know, Fangon is a guy who's cleverly trying to repackage what he said in the past on his own personal podcast. This was why when Musa Belote came here a few weeks ago or a few days ago, he clearly didn't want to be on the same platform with Fangon. Fangon is the kind of individual he could care less about someone's personality and just jump there. Firstly, let me let him know that I will say that again because he had gone on his platform before accusing Conor Gray of orchestrating the Lutheran Church massacre. I mean, just hear that.
That's false in business.
No. I can pull that tape. You just said it here.
I said
So
to
give
you,
me a break. Give me a break.
You
Give
were
me a
in the
break.
armed forces and you were
I have the
admitted to it.
responsibility to explain
Yes, you
myself.
admitted to it that your colonel
All
is in
right.
the armed forces.
Gentlemen.
No,
And
listen
you were
now,
in the
madam.
army.
Let
So
me
why you
make
gonna
this
deny?
clear because we're in an
Gentlemen, Mr. Falcon, please let him clear his name.
Yeah, but you shouldn't say Fagon
We
said
are
that
on
I
an
carry out the
international
massacre.
platform. I
What I
can go and
said is
pull
he
that
was in
tape.
the
I
armed forces
have
of
it
Liberia as a colonel.
distinctly. Fangon went on his personal podcast accusing me of orchestrating the Lutheran Church massacre, a massacre where my first son, Heckman, was killed along with his mother. You understand? Because of tribal connection. My first son. And on that unfaithful night, I was boxed up at the postacade, probably praying when my next executioner will come for us, who they are deemed were not crown people, were supporting child still. I was in jail with the late General Bowen. May his soul rest in peace. God bless. I was rescued by some good friend. At that night, when we came out that next day, I was only trying to flee for my life. From the postacade. Now, Eugene went on his podcast. Maybe he might have been in Ghana at that time. But this is how dangerous people can become with other people's personality. It's very important.
Okay.
Eugene should have boundaries when he's going at people. It's unfair.
Kind of great. I think that we can move on to the phone lines. I think that you have cleared your name. You have told the Liberian people.
I'm happy you say you are in the post-talk.
Where you were. You also told the Liberian people that you know, guys, hold on a second. Diamond, can you please come?
Dama will not be coming on because they are still faced.
Okay, they're still having the technical challenges.
Yeah.
Okay.
The technical glitches.
Whatever. Okay. So we're gonna allow you to facilitate questions from the diaspora for us. You can do that, right? We don't have any glitches going on with you, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we are going to be able to take calls. And again, I was speaking before I got interrupted by messages coming in here. It is good that the air was clear between Colonel Remy Gray and also Honorable Fagon, so we can move on with the rest of the show. We're going to have Liberians speak on to about what they heard. They heard the SG here making an announcement, and his announcement was about the vice president, who is a presidential candidate, is going to be making his vice presidential selection, and they're preparing the way. This is going to happen next week. And he didn't tell us the vetting process, but he said that the vice president is going to be picking someone who's going to help him share his vision to transform Liberia, and they're going to look into things like bridging the generation gap. So have your pick on speak about any of these issues. Please announce the numbers to you. Okay, so if you're looking for the number, it's kind of on the screen here, please.
I got a caller here though.
Okay, we can take your caller. Is James not ready yet? James?
Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller.
Caller, go ahead. Your name and where you calling from.
Hello.
Yes.
My name is Larry Grove, calling from Atlanta, Georgia. I just want to advise us on this show that we are all the opposition, and I think George Weah is our main target that we need to target instead of attacking each other in the different parties. We need to quit that. Let's focus on George Weah and making our primary target. The show is a good show, but do not attack Joseph Waka or do not attack ANC because we will need each other down the line. Let's be respectful to each other and let's attack this government. The government is the one that is doing everything against us. So we have to be more focused on them and not each other. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the show.
Thank you.
So I can go ahead, huh?
Yes, James, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Corey Sibo, and I call from the U.S.
Yeah, go ahead.
I called again to echo on the unification among the opposition. We need to do everything we can, man, to put all our differences aside and start speaking negative about the opposition. If you think that this country is okay, then you can keep attacking opposition. But I think Liberia is going the wrong way. We need to leave all our self-interest and put it aside and really come together and defeat George Weah. Look, this guy is a monster. I hate when people call this guy name. It pisses me off the crazy. Oh my goodness, I pray and hope that this guy will die tonight.
Hey, man. I think you. Let's up. Can I have pile on us? Hello? Please, if you call, I'm sorry. Let me say this right. If you call, make your point without you attacking anybody, whether Barkai, Cummings, or the president. You cannot call and if I'm going to block you, I will not accept your call again. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what is your name, sir, and where you calling from?
My name is Eugene Johnson. I'm calling from Fargo, North Dakota.
All right, go ahead and make your point.
Okay, thank you, Brother James. I just want to get something clear here. Thank you, Mr. Falcon. I always getting you saying Mr. Kume is a very good man. And I always admire that when you say that. I really want to say something to my pieces, Mr. Gray, and all the other supporters that are on the show for Mr. Cummings. They are not helping the process. I should be very, very honest. Nobody here cares anything against Mr. Cummings. And when we call on the show, we always say nobody have problem with Mr. Cummings. But the reminder he made from the very beginning that he will never go honor anybody. He want to be president by all means. And this is what some more have problem with. But every time when it comes for JB, you are attacking JB in a very bad way that you just want to discourage people, but that will not work at this time.
All right.
The Liberian people, our mind are already been made up. And I just want to say this to Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray, you are a big brother. You came from the long way of that country. When I expect you to be asking people how is it help for JMB, and I think that is not fair to JMB, Mr. Gray. Please.
All right, thank you.
Something that are very happening, and that is not fair to that old man.
All right, thank you. Okay, let me get this caller. Good evening. Yeah, your name and where you calling from? Please be audible a bit. Please be audible a bit.
Okay. Oh, sorry. My name is Eric Moore. I'm calling from Minnesota. I just wanted to ask my big brother Fagon on the show. He come out and say every time his experience about being in the political arena, he been a politician for 30-some more years. The last time I remember, Fagon was known in Liberia when CDC came to power. So I don't know where he come from with the assumption that he been a political guru or something. The last time I remember the name Fagon, it was in 2005 when CDC came on the page. So where did he get all this political guru thing when nobody knew him?
All right, thank you. And Ms. I'll answer you. Hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I'm good. Your name and where you calling from?
It's Ambrose M. Studio. I call from Kigali.
Okay, sir. Make a point.
Yeah. What I want to say to the Liberian people tonight is that the opposition, as we think that they will unite, it's impossible at this time. And because everybody have their vision, everybody believe that they're capable enough to lead the country. We see a unity in the opposition comes the runoff, wherein we'll know as to whether they believe in unity, that they can be able to unite at that time. But for now, everybody will be given a chance to go that separate way and go through the process.
All right, thank you. Let me get this.
James, I'll take 2 more calls, okay?
Good evening. Hello.
Good evening to everyone.
Yeah.
It's Hassan calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Make a point.
Yeah, I was listening to everyone, and myself, I believe in opposition unity. And looking at opposition unity, somebody's selection should not be your business to run after. If you do that, definitely you are not looking at the unity that we want. JMB is already like all eyes on me. Anybody he choose, definitely everybody will go to that side. So I just telling the Liberian people that let us come together as one. Anybody he choose, definitely after his time, he will be the next president of Liberia. Mr. Comey missed it big time. It was his time, but he messed it up. And when it comes to Brother Fagon, Brother Fagon is a wise man. This man was somebody, he is somebody that everybody wanted. Even the ANC people, but they missed it big time. Any political party always want Fagon to be to their side because sometimes he's a realist. I don't want to lie to you, he's a realist.
Right.
And people talking about Fagon Bimoff and JNB or Pedro Bimoff, JNB. JNB is somebody that welcome everybody. He accepts criticism. So Bimoff is somebody that is accepting that to come. They have realized that indeed this person had the country at heart. So,
all right, okay, we lost. Thank you. Let me get the last caller. Then we will call it a day. Oh my God. Oh. Hello. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, go ahead. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Thomas William calling from Minnesota. I'm not too well. I'm suffering from severe cold, but I'm constrained to call. Mr. Gray and all those supporting ANC on the show, you are not doing well for Mr. Cummins. And to Mr. Gray, I don't know why you keep crying, baby. You are always the first to attack Eugene Fagon. If you see Eugene Fagon on the show, he's always civil. Not attack anybody. What he does is to campaign or preach the good news of GNP. When you always attacking the man that a whole video he criticized GNP, it is why we call him, you did all, how they call military science. Military science is different from political science. We have something called political dynamism. Everybody, even you live in, I'm surprised, you live in America. You see how, even in the Republican convention, how things can be tough. People can throw walls at each other. Bernie Sanders attacking Joe Biden attacking Bernie Sanders. They call Hillary Clinton attacking Barack Obama. And you spend that okra for the kind of political, how they call ruthlessness. And you always on the show attacking Eugene Fagon. And when Eugene Fagon reply, you know Eugene Fagon does not relent. So if you keep attacking Eugene Fagon will continue to attack. And when he repairs the attack, you will now, like I know you are going to sleep with bad dreams today because what Eugene Fagon said, it is not good for you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So yes, thank you very much. Thank you, callers. Thank you for calling in. We are going to move on to our closing comments, but just hold on a second. I'm getting call from Liberia. Okay.
You're muted though.
Yeah, she's on the phone.
Yeah.
I think.
Sorry. Yeah. Before we even go to our closing comments, there were a few things that were in the trending news that was mentioned today. I wanted to hear your thoughts about it. I actually wanted to hear your thoughts. They said today the Minister of Justice put out an announcement that they have not received any police report yet. Therefore, they cannot charge anyone for the death of Shalom Musu. It took me aback because I'm just wondering why. What's going on? Can you guys just give us your thoughts? That would carry us to 6:15, and then we'll begin our closing thoughts. What do you think is going on? Why is it that our police can get a report to the Justice Department for them to do their job? They rely on their report to do their job. So I'm gonna start with Remy Gray, and then we're gonna go to Fagon, and then we'll go to Fariga. You muted. Mm-hmm.
The question, what was the question again?
The question, Remy Gray, is we heard from the Justice Ministry that they can't do their job. They can't do any arrests because they have not received any charges. They cannot put any charges on anybody because they have not received any report from the police department yet. They need to have the police report to be able to move forward to do their job, to proceed with the criminal, activities. The criminal prevention skills or whatever they have to do. The criminal measures, better word. What do you think is going on that the police have not done their job?
I mean, that tells you how dysfunctional again Musa Din is. The police, by chain of command, the police falls under the Ministry of Justice. But that is not the only department that investigates these kinds of homicide, especially alleged homicide. There are other agencies, even the NSA, even though it's independent somehow from the Justice Ministry, but they are intertwined. There are other agencies that will, look into this, like the Criminal Investigation Department. But if the Ministry of Justice, the minister himself is saying that he has not gotten any update from the national police, it just shows what kind of country we have. Why would you rely on a police that has become partisan in nature? Why not begin to move? Because the Minister of Justice is the only That's why he's the Attorney General. He's the only guy that can differ with the president and have his way. Okay. Aside from that, if he truly wanted to investigate this matter, he would have, all due respect to him, used other agencies to actually investigate this matter and come up with a finding. Because you know what? This is just another death that probably going to go unaddressed, just like all the others, and it's just a matter of time. But
Sadly.
sorry to say that he's finding ways to buy time.
Thank you. Honorable Fagon, what are your thoughts that we can't proceed with justice for Charles Musu because the Minister of Justice just told us that he's not getting any report from the police?
I don't think we cannot proceed with justice, but I think there's a miscarriage of justice, and it started from the get-go when all of us sat on this platform and saw how they handled the case from day one. The lies they told, how they talk up to the woman said no, how no window was broken, there was a window broken, and that's how they enter. How they said the girl died, and then we found out that en route to the hospital, the girl was still alive, and all the yada yada 9 yards. Today, they're hoping that the Justice Minister will just mount the podium in front of the microphone and talk out of his nose, as you say. Because in order to have a press conference, you must be able to tell the Liberian people some specifics, not all of the details. And if the police have not filed a report with the Justice Ministry, I mean, Madam Moderator, what are they supposed to say? They're supposed to talk from their own understanding or based on the report. Have the police charged anyone yet? Have the police gotten together some facts? So what the Justice Minister said clearly today, and I think Remy Gray tried to hit it, but it's a dysfunctional justice system. You are so upbeat about a Justice Ministry having a press conference and telling the Liberian people something, but you did not supply the information. You have not given them any report or documents. So from what are they going to speak? And so because of that, the Justice Minister was smart enough to say, look, man, hey, hold your peace. I have nothing, so I cannot just come up and just say something. You guys got to give me something. You got to give me some document or some charge or some report that I can give to the Liberian people. The Justice Minister cannot, administrate, cannot operate in isolation of its branch, which is the police. And so if at all the police did not give the Justice Ministry anything, there is some form of dysfunctionality there. I don't blame the Justice Minister. I don't blame the Justice Ministry. I don't blame the police. I just blame it on the government, that the government continues to do what the government has always done. And that is sweep important cases under the rug. The moment we decide to limit this thing to police or justice, that excuses the chief executive officer, who is the chief law enforcement officer of the country. We're going to give him that excuse and bring it down to the small people. By right, he's supposed to be on the phone tonight. Hello, police chief. What happened to the report? What's going on? Why haven't you given it to the minister? But to call to the police chief, I wouldn't do that. Call the Justice Minister. What happened to the case? Or the police. What do you mean the police? You are the minister in charge of the police. I can't call police. That's why I'm calling you. Have you talked to him? Has he given you the report? Why not? All those things. So for me, the government has done what the government has always done. Not investigate a case to its judicial conclusion. Always say, we will investigate, we are working, and the case dies. That's it. So I don't expect anything more from February when this thing happened. Unless you guys want to hope, you can hope. As far as I'm concerned, the government have let the Liberian people down. The government have allowed for the decline in law and order. And I think it's fair to say, as Fadiga always say, it's a failed state now. I mean, this morning, just this morning alone, the girl body was found and she was raped. We saw that on the social media. Another guy who went to armed rob was killed. And so his body was laying in the center of the street. Another guy. So I know of about 3 deaths in the capital city alone from mob justice and other related crimes. So we are failing on a daily basis. People have not taken pay for 3 months, 3 whole months, and the economy now is so bad. Criminal activities is on the increase, and the government have turned a blind eye.
Yes. So, Fadiga, I'm going to go to you right now. Even though I like to say that we cannot proceed with justice for Shalom Masood, Fagon would like to say there was miscarriage of justice. To me, it's the same thing. But I also want to agree with Fagon that it starts with the chief law enforcement and trickle down. But did you find it? There's something ironic about the Musa Dean coming out and the minister coming out and saying, I can't proceed because I have no documentation. I have no investigative report to charge anyone, which is contrary to what we hear on social media, that documents are being shielded. He was actually responding to what was in social media, saying that documents are being shielded from the public. So why is the police work underneath the Ministry of Justice, the legal department works underneath him? Why is he not working things out internally before he comes out? I'm not sure what's going on there. Do you have any thoughts about what's going on there?
Well, like I said in the past, the meaning the government decided to play this case out in the court of public opinion, I knew the case was dead. It doesn't matter what the outcome of the investigation. Everybody have chosen side. Everybody would believe what they want to believe. I will blame the Justice Department, but I also blame the family. There's a video on social media where the family made a press conference. I think I posted it in the place there. If you listen to the family press conference, it's even more confusing. These guys conducted an autopsy, and then they have family members in there to check every details. And I think the government trying to appease them to make it seem like that nothing fishy is going on, and that's just that air of distrust in our law enforcement. And all these things that because of those things, people just don't believe the police. So the police kind of careful to post something up because this thing has turned political. Everybody trying to dot the I and cross the T and trying to be too careful. But at the end of the day, it was not done professionally from the beginning. The meaning Jefferson Koji had a weird press conference. The meaning all those things started to happen. I knew that the case was off track, and the family is not even doing justice to that girl. The press conference was as confusing. I saw a lot of ignorant comments. I saw a lot of inconsistent comments, and I'm like, why are they asking those things? It got nothing to do with anything. It got nothing about. This is the country we have. This is our people. Somebody our people level of understanding. This is a lot of time we tend to understand things from our own perspective, even if it's not the right way. We tend to find a position, dig into it, marry that position, and so the whole case is a mess. I'm afraid to say so. Musa Dean saying he could be right. By right, the police should have had a report. I mean, if the investigation were conducted in the way professional investigate, by now we wouldn't have this outcome. First, we had the bizarre comment. Then we have the accusation and counter-accusation. Then we saw the sycamore tree. And then we saw the politicization of that. And then we heard that Gloria Sky left the country. Who to believe? Look, when I listened to the family press conference, I was angry. If you listen to that press conference, I'm listening to these people talking about things they got no knowledge of. And then the time they should have reacted, they didn't react. So the case is where it is right now because everybody trying to be very careful.
So, Fadiga, so let's look at the chain of command as Honorable Fagon said. Why isn't the president picking up the phone? This is such an important case. This relates to some of the accusation of extra.
You're asking the wrong question. They may be on all the things in the country that you put money.
I rest my case.
The man did not show up to debate. He won election. The man economically, when the rest is expensive, you cannot afford scarcity, you do something. He won. That kind of economic plan. The thing here is we have
okay.
What I meant or nothing.
Answer my question. You maybe I got sip of I sip it. Okay.
Yeah, don't hold it or nothing. You know what I mean? You'll be carrying it too much.
Yes. So let's move on to our closing comments now. And now we're gonna start with Remy Gray. and then we're gonna go to you, Fadiga, and then we're gonna go to Fagon, and I will be the one closing the show today. So Remy Gray.
You know, some of us will not come here and tell people what we have, how long we've been in politics. But I was in politics as far back as the mayoral election in Liberia, between Chuchu Horton and Amos Sawyer. In that particular era, Eugene Fangon, oldest brother, and I were the ones alive or much energetic to be in politics by then. I didn't stop there. I went to the University of Liberia and graduated with distinction doing political science, Liberian political science. I didn't say AA degree. I said bachelor's. Okay. And politics, I did not come out because I was a soldier. It's against UCMJ 34. You can be in politics and be in uniform. So I can't say I'm this consummate politician that started 40 years ago. That is not something to brag about. So worst of it, I studied military science. You just infuse politics and military science. I'm a round man when it comes to this. People are calling, they say this. Go and look at some of my posts. If you found one audio where I'm talking about Ambassador's Buckeye, situation, I write. But I question. I always put a question mark. I just asked about the old man's health. I have the right to, because this is politics. Here, we had Joe Biden's health was on the question. We had even what's his name? Trump was on the question. Because of Trump health, they say he was obese. We saw all of those kinds of things. That is politics. If you don't like it that way, look, I'm never moved if people like others come and make falsehood. I know my character. I've lived life well. I've walked that chalk line where I've defended me to the extent where I have nothing to be afraid of. Others would not put the colonel because they come from the AFL. I put it there because I deserve it. You understand? So when it comes to politics, no need to be bragging about where some of us come from. When I'm not an inadequate man, I'm a round man. I did not stop there. Master's degree. I can tell you doctorate degree. Public policy. Have you ever seen Dr. Gray on my name? I don't care. The only thing I would say, there's the need for Liberians to pay attention on the road. The road is to remove George Weah. That's where we at. You understand? And it's going to get bloody or bloodier. Definitely, I know Liberian politics will be bloody. I've been in Liberian politics down to being different faction or the other, trying to get Liberia on the table to peace. So I know how it is. But one thing I will talk about the generational, 5 seconds. The thing I will talk about generational bridge. When Madame Sirleaf was leaving power, she left because they wanted this generational transfer. It is the right of Ambassador Buckeye to foster his own political ambition. But the name I'm hearing, the pairing with him, somehow in that 60, 50, 60. That individual, yes, is an all-round Liberian, has been in the political limelight for some time. Matter of fact, when he was running at the University of Liberia for the presidency of ALSU, we all were there at the time. So that's why I say insider opportunities I've not heard out here, either from Eugene or from even Twe, because what I'm hearing is deeper than what they're hearing. And I can tell you that's politics in depth. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Fadiga?
Thank you, Conor Gray. Well, where do we start? I hear everybody talking about opposition unity, and this is something that we've been saying. But I'm a realist, and a lot of people don't understand us that consider ourselves realists. I do not look at things for what they should have or could have been for what they should be. And I'm very analytical. Things other people will say, I don't like to sound prejudicial, but while other people take long time to see, I see it right on and I move on. Sometimes I will say, sometimes I don't say it. But there's no way we can prevent disunity among opposition. It baffles me that the grown folks in the room that are supposed to know this have not come to realize that yet. And I don't believe either of them are worth to be our president. Either of those men, I don't think they're worth to be our president. If these people cannot sit down, the grown folks, and put the country first, neither of them worth our time and our vote. But such is the time, and these are the people we have on the platform. I pray to live to see a day that will have true patriotic Liberians that will move that country forward. But we have to deal with what we have. So we have to settle for the lesser evil. But the notion that beginning after Friday, April 28th, that there will be unity, that will be when the battle line will be drawn. You cannot tell me the opposition, they are not family members. The opposition are not relatives. These are people competing for one seat. The notion that Joe Weah will be the only Bugume in the room, no. Everybody trying to get a piece of him at the same time or shot to come second. In that battle, it's the battle that will bring disunity among the opposition. You cannot avoid it no matter how you play it. People will have to provide reason why they should come second. People will have to provide reason why they are the better candidate. All those things could have been avoided if we put one ticket together. Then you got no business explaining why you better. Then we got to go digging all the baggage because there are people with baggages. So when some people come and say, oh, you know what, I think we should come together, and the people will try to be modest in our approach, it doesn't mean that you did everything good. Some of you have track record that are there. Some of you have track record that are 12 years in the making. And the younger generation, though, it's not ancient time like in the 80s that a lot of us have a blurry vision of. These things are still vivid in our minds, and the voters will have to look at those things. So not because they do not want the current administration, automatically they're going to go back to the former abuser. Those things going to come out, and other people are going to make those cases. And they have legitimate reason to make those cases. And we have avoided all those different things by coming together for a common purpose. They'll say, oh yeah, it doesn't mean that you are right or you are wrong, but you know what, I forget it, but we got one target right now. But until we do that, people feel, I see people beating their chest. People beat their chest to 2017, and when push came to shove, we saw other people that were beating their chest, begging other people to come. But by that time, the bad blood has spilled too much in people, something. And I'm seeing the same posture. I'm seeing the same arrogance from those same individuals. And I mean, like I say, I pray for a different outcome, but it's becoming glaring and becoming clearer every day. And we know for sure come Friday which direction the comment will have. I'll reserve some comment until after Friday, and I will leave it at that.
Thank you, Honorable Falcon.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. You know, I'm just reading the live feed, and everybody seemed to be so excited. And I'm happy that my colleague said he did not get AA degree. This was something that the ANC put behind me, that I was nothing but a guy with an AA degree. I got 4 of those. And if anybody wants to dispute that, go to Northeast State. The next man was Samuel Jackson, who elevated that conversation. So when he learned about East Tennessee State University, one of the best in the United States, he decided to write them an official letter The school then wrote me and asked if they could submit. I told them to proceed. They did not only give, what's his name, Samuel Jackson, my credentials. Everybody knows Samuel Jackson, like Grandpa, you know him. They also sent a video of my graduation. They also informed him that I was not an online student, that I was an in-class student. They provided him my honors with my robes and everything. I don't boast about my educational background. It was the same. I don't hold ANC responsible for the propaganda against me. Because I believe when you say he only got 4 AA degree, the American government and the American people know. I gave the university's name. I gave the college's name. You go there, you check, you will see Eugene Fagon there. And at the end of the day, it is not about your degree. You got your master's degree. Come and show it yet. Anybody can go buy a degree, come put it down. But your output, when they said Dr. Francine, when she finished speaking, you will know that Dr. Francine. Nobody got to tell you that Dr. Francine. So if a man with an AA degree can strip naked politically, a man with a doctorate degree in political science is left for the Liberian people to make that determination. But I want to be very clear here. Every time I come here, I'm thankful that the other caller realize it. My experience in politics tells me, if you know there might be a second round, stop cursing your friend. Because that's what happened in 2017. Start telling your friend, say, he get peso, he living on battery, he hand cripple, he hand this. Then in the second round, what will you do? So that is why when I come, I say, I think Kumis is a decent guy. I think he's a great guy. I think he will make a great leader. It's just that this is where the Liberian people is going. That's how mature politicians talk. And I do that all the time because I want to tune down the rhetoric. I have left the platform twice because I have came under attack. But my response with my experience would have been devastating. And because of that, I walk away. I walk away to fight another day, Madam Moderator. I come on this platform to preach for my candidate. I do not come to fight his colleague or the person that will, be next to him. What happens? If 24 hours from now, I'm just going to give you a scenario. Joe Biden, Macron, I'm just saying a scenario. Joe Biden, Macron, the British Prime Minister, the German Chancellor, they call JMB, say, we want to have a meeting with you. This is the ticket we want. Do it for us. We're not telling you what you want, We are appealing. We're not even forcing you. We're just appealing. Do it for us. And JMB say, okay, I will abandon my quest. I will take Kumis as my running mate. Thank you, people, for calling. I'll make the announcement tomorrow. What do we do on this platform? What do? We go to battle? Will we battle or will consolidate our forces? I made the first move yesterday, along with Stanton, who intervened. Me and Belete, you saw on our respectful pages. We said we'll never attack each other. We'll focus on the greater good. So I come again to appeal on this platform. Conor Gray, I have no intention of attacking you. And let me say this to you. Whenever you attack me, I feel that you are attacking a whole generation, so to speak. Because there is a generation of Liberians that want to see like Al, Kumis, and Bwaka. There is a generation of Liberians that want to see Bwaka and somebody. But ultimately, all generations want Josh, we are out. And when I push back against you just now, you are a colonel in the AFL and you are telling us the night before the massacre, you were at the post docket, but you were awaiting execution. And that your only witness you show is a dead man, may his soul rest in peace, J. Hezekiah Bowen. How do you think that resonates with the Liberian people right now? So I don't see the need for you and I to be attacking each other. Why should we? We should focus on the bigger prize. Telling me about video, it doesn't work. We must remove a man from power that has been accused by the greatest nation with the greatest intelligence in the world of doing what? Extrajudicial killings. That's what he is accused of. He's accused of money laundering. He's also accused of drug dealings in the tune of millions, maybe billions. He has ravished our economy and given our entire country to foreigners. Whether it be Senate at the port, he gave to Sierra Leoneans. Whether it be the airport security, he gave to Ghanaians. Whether it be our passport production that he gave to Ghanaians. Whether it be our passport visa system that he gave to Ghanaians. Whether it be our just ended biometrics that he put in the hands of Ghanaians or dealing with Russians. That should be our focus, my dear brother. But I don't find it pleasing that when you come on the platform every time, you seem to be, when you attack me, that somehow I will bow. No.
My brother, you
I
always
ran-
throw punches. It's not
I
me.
ran,
You
but I'm a
always.
counter puncher. Anybody
No.
who has followed me,
No,
when
no,
Ben
you always
came
throw
after me,
punches.
when
The
you told
other
me I didn't
day,
talk,
before you did,
I didn't talk. When Ben came after me, Liberian people heard about the 45,000 US dollars. When you came after me today, Liberian people knew that you were a colonel in the army on the night of the massacre, the Lutrin massacre. That you yourself admitted to, but you said you were in the post stocket. Let me say this to you. I've got no intention of fighting my colleagues. But in the end, I will say this. George Weah is my focus. Alexander Cummings is not my focus. Alexander Cummings is a political leader that I will serve tomorrow, that I may serve, that I could work with. And everything about him, I think, is decent. It is what it is. And I come here to carry my party forward. I do not come here to attack anyone, and I will not attack anyone. So, 30 seconds in my conclusion. I call on all Liberians. Brace yourself. It could be Alexander Cummings. It could be Nyombi Kanga. It could be Jeremiah Kuhn. It could even be a bishop on the 28th of April. Every Liberian that drives a car, every Liberian that sells in the market or teach in the school, every Liberian that have done something in Liberia, but most importantly, almost every Liberian alive will make their way, whether from Bomi, Cape Mount, Douala, Bourgeois Island, Nuku Town, they will make their way to the city center. Everybody coming from Bong, Magibi, Kakata, so to speak, Rawafi Highway, Peaceville, Congo Town, they will make their way into the city center. It will be the biggest opposition rally. ANC people will be there, CPP people will be there, UP people will be there, independents like us will be there. We will be in the city center to send a clear-cut message that we will not allow a drug dealer, a money launderer, a murderer who is accused of extrajudicial killing under his regime, a corrupt president to continue to run the affairs of our country. And I respectfully submit on that note.
Thank you so much. I want to begin my closing by telling all of the callers, James, thank you, but please move that. Thank you, James. I appreciate your recognition of my commitment and success story.
James, you don't want to put about why you don't like to see this woman succeed.
Well, it's okay. Let me finish my close.
Okay, we were just reading the thing. Just take it from there. I will read it. No, man, if you succeed, we must praise you.
But you are supposed to do that. You're close. You do it.
But he kept it because he wants to. Yes, thank you, James. 30 seconds, we'll read it. The point comes here.
Okay, then you read it now.
Dear Francine, each year we select a member of the faculty to carry the mace during graduation. I would like to invite you to be the mace bearer for the College of Graduate Studies commencement ceremony. As you know, being selected to be the mace bearer is considered an honor. You were selected for this honor due to your commitment to Immaculata University, your teaching, scholarship, and service. If you could please let me, if you are willing to be the mace bearer, I would be greatly appreciative. James, get a woman number. I will call her. Our sister agrees.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We'll call that woman. We're not asking you to agree. Okay, say on the show, I agree.
Thank you. Actually, it is with mixed feelings that I want to join you in agreeing to be the mace carrier. And the mixed feelings consists of, I'm doing it in a place where my neighbor's string is not buried. I would have loved to be in my country, Liberia, being a mace carrier at the University of Liberia or Tubman University.
Madam, for the benefit of the public, what is the mace? Who's the mace carrier?
The mace carrier. So the university usually carry these devices by different schools. And they're very historical in different university settings. In Immaculata was established in 1920. And their mace carrier, they have engraved like virtues is one of what they stand for. So when you are a faculty member, such as I, every year they select someone to carry, such as I am, the Miss Bearer. So I'll be standing in front of the graduate and my faculty members carrying this. It is an honor. Last year I was actually selected to a part of the pool of faculty members to actually be given an award, but I didn't follow up because I was traveling in Liberia, so it was my fault. And they kept on, following me until now. I guess they have come up with the Miss Barrier. So yes, that's what the Miss Barrier is. I've never done it before. I have to practice how to hold it, how to walk, and how to stand in front of people and be gracious, I guess. So
Dr. Francine Dr. Francine Salimatu just texted me and said you could be our maid of honor.
Don't just show Salimatu me. I will carry hard. I
Get a text, yeah.
Me, I will carry hard, okay? Okay. Look at it. So yes, so thank you so much for asking, Colonel Remy Gray, and thank you so
Have
much.
you felt it? It can be heavier sometimes, though.
Yes, it can be is heavy. So I have not felt it. I have
So
not
you have to
carried it.
practice as a
I have to
rehearsal moment
practice.
for that.
So yes, there is a rehearsal moment, and I'll be attending the rehearsal to practice. My husband and my children will be in attendance, and of course, you guys will see many, many pictures. But like I said, it's mixed feelings. Honors to my parents. My dad always emphasized education, wanted me to succeed the highest level of education, which I did. My mother, the same way. She was a strong woman, and it just shows you how education is a promotion from mat to mattresses. Who would have thought a girl from dusty old Burma Road, would come and exceed to this level in this strange Babylon, I would like to call it Babylon. This is the country of Babylon where we are. But I want to just close by just telling our callers, thank you so much. I want to tell Liberians, thank you so much. Those who are in the commentator sections, thank you. We really appreciate you. Liberians, thank you so much. This is your radio station. This is where you come to get the news. You have followed us and continue to follow us, and we appreciate that. We appreciate all your inputs. And I want to just tell the panelists, gentlemen, you guys know I have extra love and likeness for you guys. I appreciate you. Every time I text you, like the first thing I usually do in the morning before I get started on my busy day is to make sure that you guys are here to present your views to Liberian people. And Liberians, please don't mind all of us sometimes going bickering and stuff like that. This is the nature of the diversity of views. This is the beauty of diversity. In the back, Colonel Gray and Mr. Fagon will talk and laugh about something. And this is just how it is. I want us to be open to each other's views. And I'm speaking to the callers, the commentators. You are entitled to support JMB. Don't have any problem with it. In fact, I like you even more if you support JMB and you have the audacity to tell me why, especially if your why is in the best interest of Liberia. But just as I respect your view, I hope that you respect my view to support Alexander Cummings, okay? I proudly support Alexander Cummings because I can tell you that I believe he is the best leader for Liberia at this current point, all right? We need to try something different, something new in our country. We have tried JMB as the vice president before, and I'm speaking about his experience, his many years in government, and I do a lot of digging back research to find out how, what has he transformed when we talk about transformational leader. I keep on looking, and until somebody comes, maybe on Friday, we're going to get this whole experience, how he has transformed Liberia. I'll be glad to see it. But I can tell you, I know how Mr. Cummings is going to transform Liberia. He's going to use our natural resources to increase our revenue. He was the first person, I said this before, that talked about increasing the revenue to $1 billion. He's going to capitalize on ecotourism. Many of you have not even begun to speak about ecotourism until Mr. Cummings started to talk about that. We have these natural beaches in our country. We have natural forests in our country. We have just a youthful population, that can do something like answer telephone, like how we have outsource customer services to India, to Malaysia. Mr. Cummings has the connection. He knows how to do that. And by so doing, he's going to include our youthful population to be able to increase our economy. So yes, I have seen him talk about these things. I have read his background in how he brought changes as the chief financial officer to places like Nigeria, South Africa, Great Britain. I can tell you about that in how he has changed. He changed the corporation to be the only Black person like myself. And I can speak about this because if you see the pictures that I'm going to take you about when I'm carrying the maize from my university, I'm the only Black person, you know, in a company of a lot of white people. It's not an easy task. And that's where Mr. Cummings has found himself in many of his experiences. So I can tell you that if he can do that in somebody else's land, I cannot imagine the support that he's going to give Liberia to move Liberia to the next next level. So I'm going to tell you that, you know, the second phase of voting is coming up. Voting registration is coming up. Please do not stay home. We want you to be involved in this process. We want your voice to be heard because, as I always tell you, we can preach opposition unity all day. Mr. Cummings just said today that he's not going to be vice president to anybody. Okay? Let's preach opposition unity when we are sending people to the pool station to watch what's happening there. Let's preach opposition unity so that we can support other aspirants who are going to be going in the House of Representatives and the Senate to preach a better Liberia. That's where I want to see opposition unity. Let's preach opposition unity when we are supporting women. We shouldn't just come here and say we're going to waive fee for women when we have other barriers, you know, that prevent women from leading electoral positions in Liberia. You know, we shouldn't just do that. There's other barriers. We know that. Okay, you know, opposition unity. Let's preach opposition. If you are going to select a woman as your vice president, what happened to that? All right. So please participate in the registration so that you can have a voice. October 10th. Only Liberians can change Liberia. I don't care how we can come here and preach. It is only you, Liberians, can change me. Also, I'm a Liberian. I'll be participating as well. Only us can change Liberia, and I respectfully submit my thoughts for the night in closing.
You know, Doc, I just want to let you know that I'll be gone for the next 2 days. I'll show up probably on Tuesday. I'll be out out of the US, so going on a job mission. So I will be away for that number of days, and so I just want you to know.
Okay, thank you. But I will still be talking. I will still be texting you. Still, you know, I'm not going to give up. Making sure that everything's okay. Yes.
I will take on Fagon for you. I'll be here holding Fagon down for you. Fagon, you talk about Remy.
You got every day you say we must unite. Every day you say we must unite. But when you can't, you
it will finish united.
I didn't know how the unity will happen on you.
You will cause the peace pipe.
The Fadiga man you talking about, that he brought JMB had on the show. That's not support the man get JMB. The man right in your camp. That man is the only man in the diaspora right now that have all JMB apparels, and he ready to wear it any day. So yeah,
I'm taking it back. I just waiting for
if anybody traded the political capital, it was me who said those two men should come together, and people I mean attacking me within the ANC for even making that suggestion. But I also take it. Well, if you would tell me that I have never upon my own taken to go and say I'm denigrating the old man. I've written some things, but not said. And I can say now is a time to look at opposition unity. That's why I was able to trade my own political. I don't marry to a position. I want to consider myself as a patriot.
I wish I were
I don't marry to any position.
The man just let noise.
Yeah. When I heard you say we didn't independent, I said, he going to next week.
I'm going. That's something the whole nation will laugh.
You watch it by Zoom. You myself watch it by Zoom.
We're not watching it by Zoom. We'll be here to give the commentary on Friday. We got to wake up early in the morning. It's a how you call this thing? A spoon special. We'll be in studio while Diamond there will be on the street.
We'll be doing play-by-play, right?
I'm sure it's going to take Diamond probably 2 hours to get to the city center. So you have to move very quickly.
Whoa.
Wow.
The election over. If I go to yet in the election over.
But wow, the people in look, the people wanted to demonstrate. We've been telling the people no. So the people going to show their anger. 3 months, you take pay.
Even Unity Party headquarters alone take 3,000.
They going to the city center is not about the party headquarters. It is symbolic, my friend. If you look at the headquarters, think again.
When I play already packed, it always packed. When people go there, people go there, they play always packed.
I see that been trying to post saying it.
No, but that's true.
That place always packed.
So you can
you say that place always packed. We'll show the June on
my man, Broad Street, Waterside, that whole place always packed.
But that Broad Street, Waterside again, you coming to here again?
That whole era, that's what I'm saying.
I feel all the Barrett, Pussy Quarter, Capital Papa, the whole place. Everybody coming outside that day. That fun.
The 28th, I found the battle line will be June on the 28th. That's where the campaign will really start.
Yeah, I want to see who they will elect. I mean, select to. I want to see.
They will see you. That's all.
But in the chat room, I will tell you exactly who's
And I love the question you asked, right? That male or that female?
And
that question was going to kill everything.
I get a boy.
Yeah, that male or that female.
That's small. Look, on Friday next week, can you imagine?
Look at you, what happened?
BF Factory, they call me, they say they're trying to keep up with production. People will take pay for 3 months.
Now how they can lose election? They can finish, and they will get drunk, they will forget to campaign. That's what they did.
What campaign?
They will get drunk, they will forget to campaign.
The people say they're going outside on that Friday, the majority of Liberians, to show Joe that if you don't pay off for 3 months, and you think we're waiting for you to come 3 holiday for another 6, go find place. I mean, that time, all that area, look, 12th Street, 9th Street, all that area going into
the number you're talking about will not come out. Simple analysis.
Go for my walk, okay? I'll talk to you later.
Now, who coming outside? You know who all coming outside?
Yeah, bring it Dewa.
Dewa Para one small. You remember they men who from Lofa? They went and blocked the road. They bust you, put in there. They beat it. Samukata. They said they want for the Dewa then that Omen Zanzan had to go there. The Dewa coming from Lofa. Dewa then coming from Lofa. That fun. Go stay there. The amount of people are coming from Kagata. The tree right now.
I see you, yeah. The 28 Alpha.
When I'm talking Kubuti, they make and run away, James.
We'll be here to see. Bye.
All right, folks. Good night. And the team will be here tomorrow to continue with another edition. Until we meet again, my name is James Samuel Goodell Flomo, and thank you so much for being a part. Bye-bye.